right, Coach, they jumping in now, Coach. They jumping in.
Yeah, I see.
Hey, Celebration Bowl week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One game for all the marbles.
I think HBCU Coaches Corner, we called this one back in August.
Yeah.
All these naysayers. We got it right, Bishop Campbell.
Yeah, man, that's why you the coach.
Hey, I'd like to welcome everybody to the HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky. I'm your host, along with my co-host, the Rattler himself, the Bishop, the detective, none other than Stephen Campbell. And with no further ado, you all know who our featured host is. The incomparable, the irrepressible, the dominating, the championship coach, none other than Johnny Cole. All right, we got something we want to share with you, and with no further ado, I'm going to step away and let my man, Mr. Campbell, handle it from here on out.
You know, the one thing about HBCU Coach Corner, we got all these people they are called podcasters. We're not podcasters. We're prognosticators. We're people that predict the future based off of facts and knowledge. See, we don't play no Madden over here. We don't do no NCAA 26. We have 30 plus years of coaching experience on the screen. So, Coach, I'm going to take you back to the way back machine, okay? Way back. And I'm going to share something that happened. Because, you know, we had the Southern guys, it's Southern. You know what I mean? They own the West. That's what they say. They own the West. Yeah. Southern wins another SWAC championship. But, Coach, there was a time that something happened on our show way back when we were doing the Southern, see what they were going to do for this year. And I'm going to play this right now for us. We pull this up here. Make sure we got that. There we go. And I'm going to play this right now. Coach, this is me, you, the great Perry White, and the great B.J. Jones, Southernites. And we just happened to start talking about Prairie View, and this is what they had to say. The West and rankings and things like that. Because, first of all, I got to say this. Those folks down there in Prairie View are chirping. First of all, do y'all even consider Prairie View a rival of you all's? Or no. Okay, I just want to clear that up. Okay, I want to clear that up. But who are you guys looking?
Campbell. That's some new shit going on with Prairie View. I don't know where that's coming from. That's some new shit. They talking crazy now. We ain't used to that.
Well, hey, listen, I was like, I had to get my popcorn. I was like, okay, Prairie View, they got Grambling, kind of shook.
Well, let me tell y'all something. Y'all two Southern Jaguars. This one of my proteges at Prairie View, and he ain't just talking.
Cameron, I can't get on my side.
Be ready to damn strip it up, lock it up, and get the mouthpieces in, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm taking Dion's word. They coming.
In year one. Okay, hold on.
They coming.
In year one, Coach.
They coming. They coming.
To go where? Where they going?
They coming, Coach.
Where they going is what I want to know in year one, because we've been talking.
But wait a minute. I'm gonna let you in. No, hold on. Let's go back.
Okay,
looking at the team that you guys have to face. Now, Coach, I'm gonna ask you a question. He asked you where they was going. Now, Coach, tell him where the folks is going.
Atlanta for the national championship. Not the SWAC, not the East, for the national. Jermaine Jackson, Coach Jackson, is playing in his second national championship game, Coach.
How about that?
Be live, and we'll be there.
Coach, you told them back in September. You told those Jaguars back in September, didn't you, Coach?
Coach, this young man is an exceptional football coach, believe me. And, thank God I had a chance just to see the beginning, and where he's at now is off the charts, man. And, it's a new sheriff in town in the SWAC, and we needed that over in the West. You know what I mean? I think ain't this the first time on the West side that since Southern, I think, last time, was it Southern who represented the West?
Well, not in the Celebration Bowl era. So right. Southern is the Grambling was the last team in the West.
Give us some stats. Give us some stats.
So they were the last team to do it.
It's great to see Southern, man, and one thing, all the decisions I made is, everybody know my relationship with Coach Jackson, but it was all based off of football. Sometimes, I try not to get my heart involved, and not necessarily heart, but who you favor. It ain't about that when it comes to me. I make football decisions. Look, if my mama was cutting class, I cut her. I'll give her a big old hug and give her a ride home and say, "You cut," because you ain't getting it done, Coach. And I felt that I spent some time in the summer with Coach Jackson and his staff, and I knew he was going to come with a great football team. And one of the things I always say, and we get on, is that a program beats talent every time. I'm not saying you can't have talent. I'm saying a program with some little sprinkle of talent would beat it. We just seen that last week. Jackson State is a very, very talented team, but Prairie View's program beat them last week.
Well, Coach, I'm going to tell you this, and, I know Rocky's going to jump back up here in a second, but we had a watch party, and I had so many people with you and Bruce Eugene, Coach Spears, Coach Fred, that was amazed about how you all were breaking the game down. And I just want to thank you all, because that's the difference. And again, everybody has different watch parties, but on the Off Script Network and on the Rocky Miller Channel, home of the HBCU Coaches Corner, it's the only place you're going to get a watch party where Coach is going to break it down. And Bruce Eugene, Coach, did he not? You and Bruce Eugene called up plays back to back, didn't you, Coach?
Yeah, Bruce Eugene is another outstanding young coach that has came through this SWAC. Very knowledgeable of the game. He understands the game inside and out. He was an exceptional player. I mean, he's one of those rare guys that can play the game and also coach the game. And, hopefully, this show has brought him out and got some people looking at him that he could get back in our conference, because we need our players. We need our former students to come back and assist in some of these HBCU programs to take them to greater heights.
Let me ask you this here, Coach. The championship game this past weekend, just so you mentioned that, where did TC Taylor play his college football?
Jackson State.
Okay. And did Tremaine Jackson play his college football anywhere around
Texas Southern?
And you've always told me that mattered. Now I didn't fully understand, because the people on the other side of the track don't necessarily play by those same rules when you talk about who they hire and who they select for those jobs. Can you just give me a brief explanation and share what you've shared to me many times, why it's important that when we hire somebody at HBCUs that we give the people who have had an HBCU experience an opportunity?
Well, I always say we got 40 jobs, guys. We got 40 jobs. And already in college football, over the whole look of college football, African-American guys don't get those opportunities to be head coaches. So guys like me and guys like Tremaine and guys like TC Taylor and Chinnis Berry and these guys, these are opportunities. You know what I mean? And if we just go and give them away, and then that shrinks us. And when guys come in from the outside, we lose big bowl games, and kill off bowl games, because when these people come from the outside, they don't understand our tradition. They don't understand the fan fest and things that go on in our schools. So that throws things out. We get these young men decide to come to HBCUs. We feed them, we teach them. You know what I mean? We watch their growth. But then when it's time for them to return, we've been moving the flag. Well, you got to have some PWI experience. Oh, and now we move the flag again. You got to have played in the NFL. Man, we've taken leadership classes in these schools, man, and understand ain't nothing about a leadership class where you take somebody because they were a student of the game and never coached a game and never done, and then put him in a leadership role and a CEO role. That could never compute with me. I just tell y'all a real quick thing. Right now I'm coaching a middle school team, and most of my players are ineligible, right? So they want to say, well, coach, now you can go play them. It's the tournament, you play them. I said, look, I can't do that conscious-wise. So conscious-wise, I can't grab a hold to this new way of hiring head coaches when we got great ones right now. We got great ones, that we need to get these opportunities to, and so we can grow as a historically Black college and universities in our sports program, because we're not gonna get no other chances. That's the bad part about it. And as today, what is that? The DEI program is gone, and there's a lot of programs where African Americans will get opportunities. And now with all this money and NIL, it's gonna get less. It shrinks. So
Mr. Campbell, I just admit I would mention this, Mr. Campbell. Up until recently, all of the hires that have been for ADs have all came with HBCU experience since I've been been following the SWAC. Up until just most recently, FAMU kind of broke the streak and hired a guy outside of the HBCU sphere. Has that always been the situation with ADs, though they've stayed pretty loyal? They've been willing to go outside for coaches, but for ADs, has that always been the par for the course, that they get guys who are familiar with HBCUs?
Well, we talked about this when I was coming up. Many of the ADs were former coaches at those schools, and they retired and moved into the AD role. Then what you had is the next trend of the Gen X people that actually didn't coach, but they worked at the university. They had been around, that did their time, they moved through. Now what you have, because we have so many people that go to different schools, now we have people that go and apply for these jobs. But what I will say, when you're talking about, again, this new wave, when you're talking about AD Golf, when you're talking about Paul Bryant, when you're talking about Ashley Robinson, when you're talking about guys that just coming to my head, and like I said, again, I'll even put Angela Suggs in there just for knowledge. You're starting to see people, if you kind of know your school, you can make your school great. So again, AD Golf is not a Prairie View guy, but he understood the system. He knew the right guy because he understood the system. He was in it. So again, you look at Ashley Robinson and what he has done. He understands Jackson State because he's been around it. So that's what I think is important. I think, we will see. And again, that's why I'm saying that maybe that'll allow me, right? Can I go ahead and segue?
Absolutely.
So we do have a new AD coming into FAMU, and I'm getting a lot of phone calls. So as we know, on Monday, Coach James Colzie was relieved of being the 19th head coach of FAMU. So people calling me and, Mr. Cam, I know you know things. I said, man, listen, wait. I'm just a little guy. So if you want to speak intelligently, I'm going to get somebody that actually knows FAMU, that was raised around FAMU, and is going to give you an honest assessment. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you who I got. I got a Hall of Famer, FAMU Hall of Famer, 2-time All-American at FAMU, Mr. FAMU himself, the man from HBCU Game Day and all things in between, my big brother, Vaughn Wilson.
I don't want to say anything to mess up the introduction. Keep going, Steve.
Hey, man, listen. Wait a minute. Hold on. And wait a minute, because they watch too. And also helping the 220 Club in a very important role following Mr. Jackson's footsteps. So we want to say the leader and supporter, well, not say leader, supporter, because Mr. Jackson's still at the helm of the 220 Quarterback Club that does so much for our university. Vaughn, I appreciate you coming on, and I think you're a great person, because what I don't like, and I say this all the time, Vaughn, me and I talk, we don't like false information coming out about our university. And right. Me and you get on the phone trying to stop stuff a lot of times. You know what I mean? I'll call you, hey man, did you hear this? Let's cut it out. and you have a big microphone, and I have a little bitty microphone, but I think we've done a great job. But it's just honest. This is Florida A&M University. Coach talked about championships. We come from a championship pedigree. You know what championships look like. You're born and raised. And Vaughn, before you get started, I want you to just tell people your background of how much FAMU is orange and green in your blood, so people can understand when you're talking, you ain't just some podcaster just picked up a phone and said, I can talk about FAMU, because we do have those people out there too. So Vaughn, just tell people a little bit about your background. And then I'm going to start off with this, Vaughn. What do you think did not work with Coach Colzie? And then going forward, what do you think we need to do?
Hey, Mr. Campbell, I don't mean to, but you know Vaughn. Vaughn is your guy. You are a Rattler, right? Yeah. Right. So let some of the other, let me and Mr. Coach Cole.
Okay, wait a minute. This one thing. Okay, let's reset. But I do want people, this is important why I'm saying this. And Vaughn's gonna say this. Vaughn, just give people just a short resume of your FAMU history, so people know when they clip this, they know we got the right person. And then I'm gonna let Rocky coach, and then I'll come in the background. How about that? So Vaughn, go ahead.
First off, when you go to people's house, you speak to them. What's up, Rocky? Hey, Coach Cole, how y'all doing?
Going on? Hey, thanks, Vaughn. Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thank you for joining the Florida A&M Rattlers show. Go ahead.
Well, I do have a little orange and green. I'm from elementary school through high school. I went to FAMU High School. As a junior in high school, I got a scholarship to the FAMU School of Business and Industry. So I was not going to play football. First year I didn't play football. Rudy Hubbard came 2 weeks before the season, my sophomore year in college, and said, hey, my long snapper had some academic issues, and I know you long snapped at FAMU High along with punting, tight end, and defensive end. And so for the first 2 years, I was the long snapper. Punter graduated. Coach Riley was there at that time, and Coach Riley and Coach Highsmith said, we need you to step 15 yards back and be our punter. I hadn't punted in 3 years, but it ended up 2 years All-American, All-MEAC, and just continued to support the team after that. And so I think what Steve is alluding to is that when you've been around a school that long and your heart is in it, you hate to see bad things happen. We get we want our institutions to do well at all. And if you know anything about FAMU, the last 20 years has been the scream machine at Six Flags. It's been up, down, holding on. Which way is this thing going? And but one thing that I've tried to do is stay consistent in that no matter what's going on, what's happening, I try to continue to garner support for the program in hopes that someone will come and stabilize it, but that our student athletes who depend so heavily on these college scholarships to get an education, that they have everything they need as far as that we can, we aren't rich, but we're able to generate funds to make their student athlete experience better. And I think that's important. And we're very proud of the things we've been able to do, like the nutrition station, big cooling chamber, scholarship money, and other things that we're able to provide. So I'm a big fan of all HBCUs. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of every HBCU because we're all fighting for the same thing, to get our young student athletes, men and women, graduated and have a great experience in college.
I know you're a Rattler, but your mic is rattling a little bit right now, and I don't know if it's the it sounds like if you just unplug the USB and plug it back in, that may assist it. It's just got a little static in it.
What about now? Hold on, let me see. What about now? Is that better?
Yeah, keep talking.
Is that better? Testing 1, 2, 3.
It's still modulating, but hey,
hold on. How about I switch mics here? Sorry about these technicals, fellas.
No. You good, bro.
It's DJs. He knows about the mics.
Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. That's live and in color right there.
Okay, sorry about that before.
No. You good, bro. So I'm glad you're able to acknowledge something that many sometimes in the HBCU realm that people are not open to admit. You said earlier that this has been an up and down ride the last 20 years at FAMU. I've just been covering the SWAC the last 5 years. And though Steve is a really good friend and I have learned so much from Steve about FAMU, there are some things that the greatness that I've experienced through him, it almost seems like there's a duality to FAMU that I don't necessarily get when I've been there on the heights of Seven Hills, seeing the excellence of the people, seeing how much they care, seeing how well how much of an esteemed alumni exists there, and then you go through the situation with AD Gaucher, and then you go through the situation with hiring someone who was not on the preferred candidates list as AD, and then you go through the situation with not making it a priority to sign up your championship head coach, and then you lose your coach, and then there's a revolt against your AD having the authority to hire a coach. Then you go into the situation that I don't think is worth mentioning, that got your president fired, and then you end up getting the AD, I believe, that you needed to stabilize your program, and then that situation kind of falling through, and then we're here now. I got to ask you this straight up. How much of that is the Rattler experience, and how much of that is just a bad period for FAMU?
I would say it's just a bad period of FAMU because since 1887, there's just been so much excellence at the university. No scandals, issues, or problems to this level ever rose up before the great Dr. Frederick Humphreys came. And then when Dr. Frederick Humphreys came, the university literally hit its peak because it became the Time Magazine Princeton Review College of the Year. We're not talking about HBCU. We're talking about the #1 college in America. They were raising so many funds. There was stability, great faculty and staff on campus. Since his departure is when that roller coaster has happened. And it's been very unfortunate because the greatness that was built up all of those years before that has been jeopardized because some people don't know anything about the great years. They know about the turmoil years. Just like you said, you've been following for 5 years. You've been around FAMU, but you kind of can't process what's been going on lately. I can't process it. Nobody can process it. Nobody can explain how you have that many presidents, that many athletic directors, that many coaches just filtering in and out like a lottery machine, and you just never know what you're going to get when it comes out. It's an unfortunate situation, but also in that, although we talk about a lot of the situations that were not so great, in that mix was Milton Overton, who to me, when I was working at FAMU, I learned more about athletic administration because he had come from the University of Alabama. But his concepts were so far ahead of the administration, they hampered him. But guess what he did? He left FAMU and took those processes to Kennesaw State and took them from an FCS school to an FBS school to this year, their first bowl game. That same guy who had a plan to rebuild the field house into with suites and everything, had an architect from the University of Alabama that knew him, came and drew the diagram up. So in the process of all those failures, there was greatness that was overlooked that was never able to transpire. So I am just prayerful that at some point FAMU will level out and get off of this roller coaster and get back to being the great school that we knew for all those years.
And what I said, I didn't want to overlook the greatness because during that same 5-year period, I've seen dominance on the field in multiple sports. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to say this as an alum, but some of our coaches win despite. Jamie Shoup, our baseball coach, wins despite. Our volleyball coach wins despite. Willie Simmons won despite. Our softball coach, new coach, is winning despite. Our tennis teams win despite the deficiencies that they have. I can say this because I've talked to these coaches and I know. I'm just hoping that one day FAMU will stabilize and be the representative and be that flagship university again, once again, that its reputation is.
You know, Vaughn, I went to FAMU a couple years ago with Mr. Campbell for my first time. I got a chance to get introduced to Willie Simmons and some of the other staff members or whatever. And I must admit, and I mentioned on the show briefly, that I was surprised at when I showed up. What I thought I was going to see is not what I saw, what I thought I was going to see. Of course, y'all dominated on the field, but the infrastructure and facilities did not coincide with the dominance that I saw on the field. And so I was very much surprised to see that they were that dominant working with what they had and
that's exactly why I made that statement. Some of our coaches are succeeding despite. Despite what they have, and some of them will never say a word, but the university infrastructure has got to solidify, and it's never going to solidify with a changing door, because each athletic director that comes in starts a new vision, and then they leave, and the next athletic director comes in and starts an absolutely different vision, and none of them stay long enough for anything to happen. So you just get this hamster wheel. You get this hamster wheel happening.
Coach Cole, he's done a great job answering my questions again, because I think that's something. Your acknowledgement of the dysfunction is a very important aspect in getting it fixed, in my opinion. Whereas a lot of institutions will glaze over it, not acknowledge that the dysfunction exists. You guys, to your credit, are really open about the dysfunction and really understand that it needs to be dealt with. I watched on the show last night. I can't remember what the show was, the name of the show, but it was a bunch of Rattlers on there talking about where they need to go from here, and they were very honest and candid about the challenges that exist at FAMU, but they all were very resolute in their commitment to resolving those issues and assisting and bringing in a great coach and dealing with those infrastructure and facility issues. I'm done, Mr. Campbell.
See, so Vaughn, that was the messy part of the show that we had to get out the way to get to the business at hand. So that's just part of how we run the show. Coach, did you have anything for Vaughn before we get to why I invited him?
Man, look, I've been around black colleges since 1981, stepping foot on Texas Southern, and it happens everywhere. You know, no HBCU college is, not have gone through those things. And, the bigger colleges, they go through them too, but they got the finances and the money to go get one better. And we don't have that, And, Florida A&M started off as the first team to ever win a black HBCU team to ever win a football national championship. So, football is important, and I think that, and I tell these guys when I was riding with Eddie Robinson, and he said that's the thing that always messes up when people start getting involved with the game of football or athletics and don't know nothing about it. That's when things go downhill. So that's all I had to say, man. I mean, Rocky, you did it. You put it all in one ball.
I didn't want to be disrespectful to the excellence that actually happens on the highest of Seven Hills, but I wanted to have I wanted to hear your candid response about what has happened over the past 5 years since I've been following the SWAC.
And I have to be candid, because I think it's been too often we just bury those things, and if you don't address it, you can't just bury it away. You got to address it. what we do on a weekly basis. You know, I lead a group called the 220 Quarterback Club, who raises money for athletics, raises a pretty substantial amount of money for athletics. We're trying to help. So I'm not just somebody who goes on and bashes in every opportunity I can. My university, I don't do that. I pray for us to get better, and I make my efforts with contributions. If you look on contribution lists at FAMU, me and my wife are on every one. We don't have millions of dollars to give, but we put something in the pot. And if there's any message that, Rocky, that I want to get out to every HBCU, we all have our shortcomings. But with all these alumni out there, there's a lot of help that can come from within the people that wear the colors, that show up at homecoming. Showing up at homecoming and buying a ticket at homecoming is not supporting your university, because that's a transactional. You pay the money, you get a ticket. They got to clean up after you. They got to secure the building for you, all those type things. Not saying don't go to homecoming, because they need that as well. But you got to, we as HBCU alumni have got to get into writing checks to the places that we say we love. We absolutely have to.
Well, I will say this. I made a very small donation when Angela Suggs was hired. And y'all act like I gave $1 million. The way y'all show appreciation and remind me if there's any spare change, y'all give me lots of opportunities to give. I'll just say that via email and stuff like that. And I think that's a positive thing, that you guys reach out to your alumni and those donors who supported you guys in the past. I think that's a very
yeah, you in the loop now. You in the loop now. we gonna keep going, and it's gonna be this one thing. Say, oh man, I'm gonna go and send them $20. But you know that's how it's done. Man, 20-something years ago, we bought some tickets to University of Florida, and we still get stuff to this day. Every time something goes on sale at University of Florida, we get that. So that's the way that the bigger schools do it. I'm glad that FAMU has capitalized off of that. And I think all HBC, South Carolina State does a great job of it. I was an SID, and the former SID, Bill Hamilton, retired. And they had his event up there at South Carolina State, and we couldn't go. They said, if you can't go, you can send like a love offer. And we sent $50 to that. And boy, I still, every other day, I get something from South Carolina State. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That is consistency. Fundraising is all about consistency and giving people the opportunity and forcing the opportunity to raise funds.
Well, you know, it's the hiring policy that bothers me. Not only just at Florida A&M, you know, throughout HBCUs. I always believed in hire your own. What I'm saying, I'm not saying have 100% employees on campus, but I am saying hire your own. You know, because there's some passion. When you look at these other schools, Notre Dame, I guarantee you, when you go to their human resource department, I guarantee they hire so many of their own. Or if there's a position open and we got somebody out there, you know, that person is considered to be, you know, one of the top candidates.
Coach Cole, when I heard you say that early on in the show, I was like, he is so correct, and I feel that way, and I believe that.
Yeah, and
one
you
of the right.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, one of the things, you know, in my profession, part of it being a college football coach and see it happen, you know, with me being a graduate of Texas Southern and how I was able to maneuver and raise, fundraising was up, enrollment was up, Spears was up, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, boom, you know, things fall off, and then here come another coach. And then those fans that loved me, now they've been pissed at the school, and then they now follow another guy. And you guys are going through the same thing now, you know what I'm saying? With all this turnover, we got to believe in consistency and turnover and being able to go about looking for the right person, not your buddy, not your friend, not the right person. But again, you know, I'll say this too. Most HBCU schools are in Republican states. Yeah. That plays a major role in it. Even our board members, you know, we don't have $1 million board members. You know, they give us the $1,000 board members. Know much about raising a campus and running a business. We don't have that, but they're out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's bigger than this here, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Coach Cole, when you said that earlier about TC Taylor, that strikes a point. When TC Taylor was hired and Raymond Woody were hired, I wrote an article say give them a chance because they played there. They're going to give it their all. You know, 2 years later, TC gets a championship. Woody's finally got the Wildcats back to at least 6-6. And there's something about a former player that has a dedication that you played on that field and you've had the cheers and you want to bring those cheers back to the alumni and you know what it means to those people. So you're going to stay that extra hour at the office. You're going to make that extra decision and take that extra effort. No secret that Quinn Gray is one of the Steve, Mr. Campbell, I'm moving a little forward. Quinn Gray is one of the leading candidates by a lot of accounts to come to FAMU. Why not? If you look at the Celebration Bowl, look at just take one game, the Celebration Bowl. 3 years ago, Chennis Berry was dominating Division II up at Benedict. 2 years ago, Tremaine was dominating Division II at Valdosta State. I talked to the athletic director, Herb Reinhardt, who hired him, and he's ecstatic for Tremaine. Great Division II coaches, for the most part, are translating to good FCS coaches. So with Quinn Gray going to the third round or second round, I don't know what what round he went to this year, that's a big step. And that shows the consistency in coaching that has translated. It's translating to the Celebration Bowl this year. One of those the former Division II coaches is going to win the Celebration Bowl this year. It's translating. So when people ask me, it's not just that we want a Rattler there. The translation of a great Division II coach stepping into FCS has been pretty amazing as of late.
Yeah. Now, Vaughn, let me ask you this, and because there's no problem that you got ahead, because we'll circle back around because there's a couple of things. I want to talk about, so of course you were there, you saw it, you played at FAMU. What went wrong with the Coach Colzie era, and what do you think we can learn from the hiring process to some of the things that were said, some of the things the way it was ran? You know, what did you see? Because you were inside and you went and talked to the team. I know you talked to Coach Colzie. I know you tried to advise him. You know, because you remember him when we played at Florida State. So you have that type of respect on all. And I want people to understand this. Vaughn has respect. Florida State, Florida, Miami, FAMU. People know him like that, and they have a lot of respect. And I'm talking about those. And Vaughn, we came into the golden era of all those schools when they were 1, 2, and 3 in the rank. In the rank. Yeah. So we knew all those players coming through Tallahassee and things like that. But I wanted to ask you that because I think it's important, because I think what a lot of people don't understand, and all I heard was, oh, the alumni, you know, they were pulling the strings and they were not letting him coach and all that type of stuff and things like that. And I think you have a better answer than some of the stuff that we heard out there on the streets.
I can make it really simple. North Dakota State is in the FCS championship every year, South Dakota State. Those teams that are there, coaches get hired away and they reload with another coach, and that coach keeps that same process and they have that same success the next year.
They hire a coach off the staff and just keep.
They hire a coach off the staff and they keep it rolling.
Right.
That is what FAMU wished for with Colzie. Unfortunately, the product on the field didn't look anything like what we were expecting to see. We were expecting to see, okay, Willie Simmons over 5 years has built the process, has built the system, has built the playbook that is going to win. The reason we did not want an outside coach to come in is we wanted to give that North Dakota State, South Dakota State, University of Miami in the 80s and 90s, new coach, same results, using a lot of the same system. That is what FAMUans expected. And that is why FAMUans fought for an outsider not to come in, but someone from inside to continue what had been built that had been proven to be successful. Unfortunately, we went off of the rails because we saw none of that. The defense didn't look like what we had seen. The offense didn't look like what we had seen, even though the coaches was there. It was like the coaches tried to instill their own systems in there, and that's not. It immediately when FAMU fans recognized that, that's when everything went south. From there, it went south. It was like you were brought here to continue the greatness, and it's almost like we're here experimenting, and that was no good. So if you ask me where the rails went off, as soon as everybody realized that they were not continuing, we were not doing a North Dakota, South Dakota State situation. We were not.
So what I'm hearing, Coach, you guys done that, but you actually went against the athletic director because she wanted to hire another guy who I thought Coach Gibbs. After I found out, who it was in his background, he's a championship coach. So that just kind of threw me a little bit. But I understood y'all process.
Let me defend the alumni a little bit. If somebody comes to your school and respects nothing about what your school traditions are, it's gonna be a hard road to plow. Yeah. Hard road to plow. And during that era, their alumni felt just completely disrespected, unheard, and like we were going away from the traditions. I got to say this, and I think I wrote an article about it. FAMUans didn't even know Sean Gibbs. They had nothing against Sean Gibbs. It was none of that ire was aimed at Sean Gibbs. It was aimed at the person trying to bring Sean Gibbs in and not allow FAMU to at least try to continue what they had invested in, because there was a lot more investment from alumni. Coach Simmons, Coach Cole, let me tell you this. Willie Simmons did a great job of getting people to open their checkbooks. Yeah. But he showed, so he got the first year, he's like, man, we need a nutrition station. So people open the pocket checkbooks, nutrition station. Saw a little improvement. Hey, man, I need players falling out in the summertime. Can y'all get us a cooling tent? For the summer. Okay, we do that. And it kept, the donations kept going up and up and up. And when it resulted in the championship, everybody was almost like, okay, what do we do now?
Well, can I say something? I have all the respect in the world. You said one thing that I wish we had at Texas Southern was alumni who cared about the school and most of all the traditions of the school. But at the end of the day, when you chose this athletic director, who did she come from the outside, or did the alumni okay this athletic director? Because if I choose this athletic director, I'm choosing this athletic director to lead us in the right way. I got you. And she should have told you guys about Sean Gibbs, because his background was way better than Mr. Colzie's. Way better. You know what I mean?
Oh, by far. And that goes to my point. It had nothing to do with Sean Gibbs or his resume. It came out like that because people were saying we don't want him. What people were actually saying is we want to continue what we just built and invested in for over the last 5 years and have increased our donations. So let's stay on this path because we know this path can lead to success.
Let me say this, Vaughn. Now, this is just my outside opinion of FAMU, right? Y'all are Florida up and down, through and through. I don't think there's nothing more Florida than Trick Daddy, FAMU,
and Uncle Luke.
And Uncle Luke. You know where I was going. You know where I was going.
Uh-huh. All of those are Bond's personal friends at that. Let's be clear.
But my point was, and to say this, I think Willie leaned into all of that as a coach. For whatever reason, very early in the process, shortly after he was hired, I heard that Colzie's message to people around the program is that I'm not going to do what Willie did. I'm going to bring in different kind of guys. I'm going to bring in Colzie guys, not Simmons guys. And when I heard that, that meant something to me because guess what? I'm from here in Central Texas, and every time a coach comes in and says we're going to hire we're going to recruit Baylor guys. We're not going to recruit guys who just want to play football. We're going to recruit Baylor guys. I can guarantee you, every time they say that, that's 3-8. That's 2-9. You understand what I'm saying? So I had heard that before, and that. What did Colzie mean when he would say he's going to recruit Colzie guys, not Willie guys? What was the subliminal message behind that?
The exact opposite of why alumni pulled for him, that he was going to do his own thing and he was not continuing what Simmons did, and that created the problem that persisted. You know, it was always there. Let me tell you, I got to say this about Willie Simmons because a lot of people don't know the core of why everyone was so upset with Willie Simmons. It's the obvious that he was winning, but gun violence had hit a peak here in Tallahassee. Willie Simmons called the police department, the sheriff's department, the NAACP, and he held his own rally, and everybody supported him over at one of the community centers here in Tallahassee. Willie did that. And he was the lead, and he was there from beginning to end, and the whole city, the mayor, everybody came to support him.
Willie from that area too.
Yeah, so he was bought into the community. Yeah. So even the people across the tracks at Florida State had great respect for him. So the reason everyone was so upset, you know, that Willie was not guaranteed to retain on when he asked to do so, which was, I don't care what anybody says, that played a role in when he left. He was going to eventually leave, but it played a major role in when he left and how he left.
Yeah.
Those things are what was a problem to the alumni. Coach Colzie, I have no problem with you wanting to come in and you've got another. You're the head coach. It's on you. Your name is on the contract. Your name is on the door. You can do what you want to do. Once you get the keys, you can do what you want to do. But 12-12 is not it at FAMU. And the way that the last two games were lost. And I consider Colzie a friend. But if I'm standing on the field and you got a lead on your arch rival and you know they're about to throw deep and you get beat deep, I have had so many people to say, how did we let the guy get behind us? I have had to shrug my shoulders 1,000 times, bro. It's just Coach Cole, you know about them heels on the goal line?
Yes.
We had no heels on the goal line.
Yeah.
We had no heels on the goal line, none. We got beat on a 4th and 8 play.
Yeah, I've seen it 100 times, and you ask Mr. Campbell, I've talked to defensive coordinators all over the country on how with 20 seconds left, 8 yards to go for a first down, you're up a field goal, that you let somebody, not only was he open, it was like him catching a punt. He was so open.
Yeah.
He was waving it off like, oh, and then walked in. Yeah, that's tough, you know.
Yeah, that's the unfathomable, the game, the emotions. So in my opinion, even if they had beat Valley 70-0, they couldn't recover from that loss because it was the arch rival. It was the big stage. Yeah. It was what could save your season. And to me, no matter what happened in the Valley game, I personally felt that was the end.
Yeah. Do you think it was especially devastating because he coached DBs?
And was a DB? Yeah. I never played defensive back, but I know about heels on the goal line. Rocky, let me just say this. So Bethune gets that score, right? FAMU starts driving. Guess what happened on the last play? Where FAMU's gonna throw a Hail Mary.
They put heels on the goal line.
Bethune put heels on the goal line. We throw a pass about the 15-yard line, because when you put your heels on the goal line, everything's in front of you. that defensive back came up and hit our receiver so hard. Oh my God, I felt it in the end zone. That's what heels on the goal line means. Everything in front of you.
Yeah, well,
And it's a
ask
simple
my
concept.
alma mater. Ask my alma mater. My alma mater did the same thing against Prairie View. 6 seconds left in the game. They're on the 17. Prairie View is up in Texas Southern is up in man coverage. They throw one right behind. 6 seconds left in the game. Yeah.
You know, one thing about that I know is coaching matters, right? In on any level of football, coaching matters, Vaughn. And one thing I've shared with these guys, and that just I've observed in the past 5 years, I've lost a number of coaches. But how can you have quality coaches when at one point this year we counted 20 coaches going through the SWAC over the course of the last 4 years? How can you have quality coaches when you're churning coaches like that?
Well, the coaches cycle has always been the coaches transfer portal has always been in effect. It just the players start transfer. The coaches now they're going to come in. They're going to be successful at FCS, and then you're going to have to fight off the group of 6 or however many those lower and mid level.
No, they were getting fired. They what these coaches wasn't elevated. These coaches was getting fired. You understand? Like Southern has been through 5 coaches in 5 years.
Yes, you're right. That has been something to watch. I mean, first, that's a lot of money, continuous pay, because they're paying probably 3 coaches at Southern.
Yeah. Gremlin has had 3 coaches. You know, even your beloved FAMU, once they make the hire, you know, within the next couple of weeks, they're gonna be on their 3rd coach in 5 years. So yeah. So
in 3 years, Willie coached 2023.
Yeah,
so 3 coaches in 3 years.
Yeah. And let me say this too about why I think these jobs should be given to Black college coaches who are experienced, who have been through the gauntlet. I'm not just hiring a guy because he's a Texas Southern graduate or he HBCU guys, but coach them call him a career coach, and especially when he's from HBCU. He knows walking in the door what to expect. You know what I mean? He knows, especially a guy has been around and seen it, and not only just understand the X's and O's. That's to me, as my experience as being in an HBCU, that's what you know. It's everything else around the program. You know, it's a program. It's a system. You got to have a system, been in championship systems. And we don't look at, you know, one thing Rocky said, we don't look at resumes. We go out and hire a coach, you know, because he had never been in the championship, never been
frat brother, homeboy, alumni.
Right. And that's who we are. And then now we're getting into hiring former players from the pros. You know, it's just, and they come through, they make all the money, they don't work for nothing. And then when they come through, they talk about how bad our programs are, what we don't have, and we understand that going in. And there's a bunch of coaches, as he said, it's been over in the last 20 years. I mean, every coach who have won a championship is almost on the shelf in Black college football. It's on the shelf. And it just ain't right. And we keep turning over and turning over and turning over and turning over.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Vaughn. Mm-hmm. Do you, and FAMU's going through a hiring cycle. Sometimes when my man here, JT, says the standard is the standard, I don't know what the standard is. From school to school, the criteria is different, right? But I'll just ask you as alumni, do you want a guy with a reputation or do you want a guy with a resume? I'll just ask you that.
I need a resume. I need a resume who has proven to be a winning coach, because there have been a couple of times we've hired coaches that have had losing records and they lost here. They've lost at FAMU. I don't think Colzie had a winning record, and I just won't name other coaches. But I think hiring a coach who has had success. Willie Simmons was a winner before he got to FAMU. He won at FAMU, and he's obviously a winner after leaving FAMU. He's that reputation and the resume. He had both.
Yes.
He was a rare that had both. If I had my preference, I would like both. A person who's known for building programs and his record shows that he can sustain it, with the correct support.
Why doesn't a school like FAMU just go out and hire the best available HBCU coach?
Because there have been so many athletic directors and presidents that it's almost been a whim on those people's radars, as opposed to a process that's, like I said, I talked to Herb Reinhardt tonight, who was proud of Tremaine, right? Valdosta State, former longtime athletic director. He hired good coach after they were like the North Dakota State. Keep hiring good coaches, keep winning, win a national championship every few years. It was the consistency in his hiring that did it. But when you bring people in who have never hired a head coach and expect them to hire a coach, they don't know what, just like you said, they don't know what the standard is.
And then, we go out and pay these hiring services $30,000 and giving this money to these people who's never been on a college campus.
Hey, fam, you paid 50 to 70 only to hire the guy who's already the interim. You didn't even have to. Hey, you could have gave that money to the kids.
And they get these hire services has never been on the HBCU campus. And then we hire these ADs that ain't qualified, like as you said earlier, that's not qualified. They never played football, don't know about the game, and go out and hire. It's got to be their friend or a friend of a friend, because they don't look at resumes. If they looked at resumes, we got Melvin Spears on the shelf, national championship coach. L.C. Cole on the shelf, national championship coach. James Goody, Ricky Comzie, all these cats on the shelf, and not even some of them not even on the sidelines. So I'm glad that you asked that, Rocky, about is it the resume or is he?
Hold on. Well, let me get in here real quick because Vaughn, because this is important for the FAMU people. So we ask a lot of. I'm trying to get some specific stuff. But for a lot of FAMU people, there's a lot of names. So Quinn Gray is one. So I'm gonna just throw out a couple of names that you've heard. What do you think about the fit for the guys and stuff like that? And again, we know they may not come, may not, but again, as they say, you don't know until you shoot your shot. And these are some of the names that have been heard: the Deshaun Jacksons, the Tremaine Jacksons, the Trey Olivers, Teddy Bridgewater, Dr. Parker, the Coach Nobles down in West Florida, Ed Reed. Some of these names, I'm pretty sure people have called you. So those names I've named, what do you think about? Would they fit at FAMU? Would you be happy? Would FAMU people be happy if, again, because we don't know, again, and I'm saying this, Quinn Gray's a hot, I've heard that Hampton's going to offer him. You know what I mean? So we don't know what's going to happen in that time frame. So overall, should we be looking at a lot of people, interviewing a lot of people? And the names that I named, what do you think about those?
Well, I know Hampton is going to offer Quinn Gray. I've got good knowledge of that. Of the names you've mentioned, I don't think the Rattler Nation will be swayed about a star. And the reason I say that is because FAMU is the brand. When the star comes there, I mean, we can say Delaware State, but that's the Deshaun Jacksons right now. I mean, let's just be honest. If Ed Reed came, it would be different than before. And I just don't know who as athletic director would Ed, and Ed is one of my favorite players of all time, just an amazing athlete. I just don't understand how he could work as FAMU's coach. From your list, if I had to, and it's just me, my personal opinion, none of the organizations I work for, this is just me.
Right.
I really, really like Dr. Alvin Parker because he's an old school coach. And is not a flashy guy. and FAMU would remain the brand if he was the coach.
Is he Florida enough though?
Well, if he came, he'd have to be smart. He'd have to be smart enough to surround himself with the people that would allow him to get that South Florida talent. Because you're not going to get it if you don't have somebody that's from there. You're just not going to get it.
I think one of the biggest problems too with HBCU hiring coaches is they don't plan right. You know, they don't plan. It's just all of a sudden, and they don't talk about, well, what's our short list? What's our long list? You know what I mean? You got to be in front of this thing instead of just showing up, boom. We're like, well, then what we want? Who are we? What we need? Do we want an offensive guy? Do we want a defensive guy? And of course, you know, when we talk about blueberries, and I know Coach Bishop, he always, you know, talk about, which is important. You know, Florida A&M is a bluebird. We ain't no different than Alabama, the LSU. We go. Who's the winningest coach? You know what I mean? We just put on our little text about all the coaches who have came up under Nick Saban. They all ranked in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We don't do that in our HBCU schools, man. We don't hire qualified guys that can come in and know what to expect. And that's why back in the day, that's why the competition when we were in school, it wasn't nobody just running over nobody. You know, it was great players and great teams, all through the conference.
Coach Cole, I got a great answer for you, and I'm sure you're going to appreciate this. And yes, I said it. I'm saying it on the show right now on national broadcast. One problem several HBCUs have is the president don't want the head coach to be more popular than them.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I said it. It's rampant, man. It's almost like, it's almost like they don't want to be upstaged by the football coach. Well, guess what? At Colorado, they just elevated that AD that brought Deion in there, and you barely see him because he brought Deion in there to do what he does and sits in the back and reap the benefits of it. But so many of our presidents at our HBCUs do not want a coach coming there upstaging them. And it's the schools where the president works together and understand that in HBCU land that are successful. Time after time again.
Hey, Vaughn, let me ask you this. You talked about coaches with a resume. And Coach Cole talked about this. But what about coaches that you see has something in them? So, like, you know, again, the AD, Ashley Robinson, saw Willie and brought him in, made him the first-time head coach. What about a coach like a Terenzo Quinn that you see the way he runs the defense, way the players respond, the way he recruits? Is that something that, again, that family should be looking at, you know, or even, like I said, which would be a first-time head coach? Should we also look at maybe extraordinary, you know, coordinators also potentially, like a Terenzo Quinn at Jackson State?
I think the patience of FAMU waiting for something to build happened with Colzie. I don't think they'll wait again. I'm just saying. So yeah, you're in an unfortunate situation where you need a proven in there. Colzie would have been the opportunity to try somebody else in that situation. I think now the luster of the Celebration Bowl has worn off, and we're feeling like plain old FAMU as opposed to blue blood FAMU, like Coach said. And FAMU needs to feel like blue blood FAMU in order to get the alumni. I'm on the front lines of trying to raise money. As the season tanked, it got more difficult. It's a correlation. It's a correlation. Just looking at the numbers, looking at the wins, looking at the losses, looking at the numbers, they correlate directly.
Hey, Vaughn, let me ask you just one thing, and then I'm going to let these guys get back at it, because you just made me think about something. You saw Tremaine Jackson. Mm-hmm. Hey, Prairie View, I think had the same record we had last year, 5-7, something like that. He comes and flips, not in the Celebration Bowl. You see and we were in the MEAC, so you understand the cellar dweller, Delaware State, Deshaun Jackson. How much do you think the FAMU people are seeing that and saying we need to have that immediately? Do you think there will be some patience? Because I will say this, I think because of the portal and the right coach, I think we could be right back at it immediately. But will we have that patience and not look at Prairie View and say, hey, they went to the Celebration Bowl or Deshaun Jackson beat North Carolina Central? Hold on, let him answer that, Coach. Go ahead.
So, literally 2 plays and FAMU has a winning season. The big third down they gave up against Howard in game 1 to let them drive all the way down the field and get the field goal range. It was like 3rd and 20 maybe. And then, of course, the play against Bethune-Cookman. A winning record is much different than a losing record. It's so different. It's so absolutely mentally different that people might have said, okay, he's building. It's a step better than last year. But the way that it ended and the digression over the last few games and then losing the Valley twice doesn't help. 2 of their 3 wins over the last 2 years came against FAMU. That doesn't help anything.
You know, Vaughn, I think in 2019, you guys did something, or was it 18? I can't remember. You guys did something where you guys went out and just took a little school in Texas's coach that happened to be from Quincy, Florida. Mm-hmm. Would y'all consider doing that again to a little old school down in Texas and just taking their coach?
Listen, it's FAMU first. So, you know, if you can't keep him and he's available and he's going to sign and we need him, then it's your job to keep him. You know, if we go after him, I mean, that's the nature of the business. I hate to be that cruel and blunt, but I mean,
it's something that the Rattlers could be happy with. And could the Rattlers get on board with that is what I'm asking.
Man, they want to win. They want to win.
Now y'all ain't gonna go into January and February before y'all find a coach, are you?
No, Coach, because listen, that transfer portal is January 2nd through the 16th. You got the reason that Lane Kiffin was brought on over to LSU. You can't miss that opportunity. At no level can you miss that opportunity. In order for them to be eligible to play for the fall, they have to sign between January 2nd and 16th. There's no second period like it's been in the past.
Yeah.
So you got to have somebody in place.
But here's y'all dilemma. Y'all gonna hire a football coach and ain't really put a AD in place. But I understand that he's coming in January, so he's gonna be hard before the AD is hard. That's already right there turmoil. So you guys are in a pickle, and I get it. You know, you want a head coach in there and get it going, but that athletic director, if they bumping heads, we're gonna be right back here in about another year, 2 seasons.
Hey, Vaughn, let me answer that.
And you just described FAMU. You just described the roller coaster at FAMU. Things have not been lined up to where they need to connect. Coach, you just described. Yeah. Rocky, there's your answer. You asked about FAMU. He just described it right there. It just hasn't lined up right. It just has not.
Yeah, y'all are not aligned from top to bottom, and it's tough.
And it takes all of that to win a championship. It takes every bit of that to win a championship.
Yes. Yeah. If that AD and that head coach is not getting along, it's gonna be some problems.
I'm gonna say this though, I can confidently say this. He's not out there on the island. He's just gonna walk in and like, oh, who's the coach? I can feel comfortable to know that he will know who the coach is and probably have some discussion. So I think I don't think it's gonna be as bad as because Vaughn, and you know this because you're on social media, you see a thing. Everybody, and I want to say this: the reason why people are always amazed how we endure, because FAMU Foundation is always strong.
But he may be pissed off, y'all, because y'all fired his teammate.
Well, listen, I tell you what, if he came from that bottom bound area, he would have fired him too, because they never lost over 2 games when he played. So how about that? So
all I know is this: being in this business, if that AD and that head football coach ain't on the same page, it's gonna be some friction. It's gonna be some problems, you know. And I've been in those situations everywhere I've been. We've came in on top of an AD, won championships, gone. Came in on top of an AD or behind the AD or in front of the AD, gone.
Yep.
It just happens.
Hey, Coach, that's another description of FAMU. Coach, why do y'all need me on here when Coach Cole is calling? He's describing FAMU to a T over the last several years. It just has. So the answer to all the questions is just what he said. FAMU has just not been aligned with everything. It just so happened during the period where Coach Simmons was winning, he forced the alignment. He forced the alignment by winning. It was like, oh, he keeps getting better. We gotta follow his lead. So,
and as soon as the AD came in, they didn't hire him. It all fell apart.
Just what Coach just said.
Because that's one thing I was telling Bishop, you know, and Bishop agreed with me about black college coaches. And do we aspire? And I know Simmons was aspiring to go Power 5, but if y'all would have put some down like a 4-year, 10-year deal, or 4-year, 7-year deal where he's got some, you know, some security, he might have been on it. You know what I mean? That, oh, I know I'm gonna be here for the next 7 years, because you know football coaches know it ain't no more Eddie Robinson and W.C. Gordons and Rudy Hubbards. It ain't no more of them. So, but if I can get a long contract, shit, he might have would have stayed.
Well, if he could have got any contract, he and his agent went into FAMU. He and his agent went and tried to negotiate with the athletic director for a long-term contract, and it didn't happen. So at that point, you got to say,
wow.
And this was in October of the year that he won the championship.
Did she hire him?
No. You go back to your own statement, Coach. You said it earlier. You get a coach come in, and then you get an AD come in after it, and that AD didn't hire him. Then it's problems. There's no sync. So
let's say this one thing too, because that came out, and it was reported, and it was fact. It wasn't no rumor. We know that was a fact. And after that came out, mind you, and Bill knows this because he was instantly talking to people, things like that. When we found that out, when people turned around and now she makes the call to Curtis, to the alumni, we need money for $250,000 was raised in 48 hours.
Right.
In 48 hours. When this could have been raised
$1 million in another year.
Could have, to your point, Vaughn, could have prevented all this. And after that was found out, that was dead man walking after that, no matter what.
Yeah. But yeah, because I think he had already given up on. To win a championship, you need everything in alignment, and he did not feel he was going to have alignment in that position. And he just said, you know what? I would rather walk out on top than to struggle fighting internally to try to get what I need to win, because it's not easy. So I really think that was the decision more than wanting to go Power 5 right then.
I've
Who's
observed
on the committee? Can I get on y'all committee? I think I pick y'all a good head coach.
No committee this time, Coach.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, Coach, let me tell you who was on the committee to pick Willie Simmons. John Eason. John Eason said, I'm going to go find a coach. He told President, I'm not doing the committee. And he got the deal done in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Guess who was on the committee? Guess who was on the committee to select Tremaine Jackson?
Yeah.
And Golf.
Yeah.
He said he responded. I asked him a question. I say, who will be making the decision? I sent him an email. Who will be making the decision? He picked up the phone and called me. He said, I'll be making the decision. I'll be selecting the head coach. He didn't mince words about it. He didn't. Yeah. And he said he also said with the support of the president, of course.
Yeah. But if you got some John Eason coached 20-something years under Bobby Bowden at Florida State, even though he played at FAM and he went pro from FAM. His coaching career was with Bobby Bowden. So he understood championships, and he was not going to let people who knew less football than him influence his choice. And he was correct. He brought in the right guy, and I'm telling you, everything was done in a week and a half. And Simmons was on campus in 2 weeks.
That's a great point. AD that is an administrator, why doesn't he bring a council of coaches in and use those guys as a means of vetting those? Because I'm telling you, I'm gonna be me and Coach Cole and Mr. Campbell have private conversation, and I'm telling you, within the last 3 years we've been doing this show, Coach Cole ain't missed on a coach yet. When he say they gonna win, right? Mm-hmm. They gonna win. Mm-hmm. How did he know that? I don't know. But when Tremaine was hired, he said he's gonna win. Even when Mickey was hired, he said Mickey's gonna win. You know,
he knows what good coaching looks like. He knows what good coaching looks like, and he knows the mentality. And I guess he just takes a general assessment of would the university have what that person needs support-wise to get it done. But yeah.
Can I tell y'all something?
And it must admit,
y'all don't go buy a championship coach. Go get somebody's coach that's a champion. We're going to be right back here in about 2 years. Because whoever this AD you have, that guy's got to be able to come in with ready to go. Florida A&M ain't Pine Bluff. Florida A&M ain't Prairie View. It ain't Texas Southern.
What kind of contract are y'all willing to offer the next coach? That's another question. Like, what kind of commitment are y'all willing to make? You know, you say you want a guy who already has a job, whether it be Quinn Gray or some other guys. If a guy already got a job, what kind of commitment can you guys offer to make him want to make the jump to FAMU?
Well, I will say this. This president and administration have found money for what they want. And so I think for what it takes, you know, Willie Simmons had a contract. I don't think FAMU has ever offered a 5-year contract. $300,000 a year, 5 years, $1.5 million for the life of the contract. FAMU has never offered that. And so, of course, with bonuses for championships and those sorts of things, that was outside of the box for FAMU, specifically for the length of the contract. I don't.
Well spent.
But I don't think Coach Colzie came in because he didn't have as much experience. And if I'm correct, he was around 240, Steve.
Yeah.
He was around 240 with maybe a $10,000 a year raise or something to that effect. I'd have to look back over his contract. So I think a coach coming in with the right pedigree could get back up to the 300,000 and then possibly beyond in future years with incentives.
Well, y'all don't have to pay $50,000. Just send me a plane ticket and let me stay in the Embassy Suite in Tallahassee.
We might have to take you up on that, Cole.
I'll help you out. Shit, look, I might bring the guy with me.
Oh my goodness!
Hey! You'll pull an Eddie Robinson Jr. being the chairman of the hire committee and hire yourself. How about that? That was a pretty good hire, wasn't it?
Hey, look, Marino Cassim did it back in Southern. He got in there from our corner as the AD. 2 years later, he was the head coach.
Oh God.
Yeah. But hey, look, man, we had championship weekend. Campbell, you lead this one.
Yeah, Vaughn, before we let you get up out of here, you know, and you do such great work. You got to check Vaughn on HBCU Game Day. Amazing, hard-hitting, well-written articles because he's a Florida A&M Rattler. We can't let you go without you giving us a quick breakdown of the game and who you think going to win.
Man, I think this is going to be a brawl in the trenches because he has the experience of being there before and that disappointment. of not taking home that trophy, I give a slight edge to Chennisberry and South Carolina State.
Wow.
Okay.
Chennisberry. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
That's the MEAC FAMU talking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm expecting a great game. I can't wait. I'm going to have my popcorn, and I'm going to sit back. It's for HBCU game day is based in Atlanta, so I don't have to go. It's enough staff up there. I can sit at home and watch it. Don't have to run up and down the sidelines. It's going to be hard for me to go to Celebration Bowl and experience a moment bigger than Travis Hunter catching that touchdown.
Wow.
To go into over 8 feet in front of me. Because that's the back wall on that end of the end zone is literally 8 feet from the goal line. So we're backed up against the wall, and I see that joker go up and catch that ball, and I was like, how the heck did he bring that ball down? So it's going to be hard for a moment to surpass that for me, being 8 minutes of 8 yards away from glory. But the Celebration Bowl, and if I can, one quick second, the Celebration Bowl, yes, it's the championship, but it really is an HBCU reunion, big time. You see every school's attire there. It's a great time. It's a great platform set up for us. It's our championship. So I just want to encourage anybody that has the ability to get to Atlanta to please go. I've only missed one, and like I said, this one, the schedule has just been rampant on me because I've had to run and cover Edward Waters, FAMU, and Albany State are my region. I've been running. So I finally get a break. Old man finally gets a break and able to kick back and watch it on the big screen. I'm expecting a great game. Congratulations to Tremaine and what he's done at Prairie View. Congratulations to Chennisberry for keeping that Buddy Pugh reputation going. I'm looking for a great HBCU game. And, of course, I can pull for the Rattlers because the Battle of the Bands. I will be pulling for Olua Madupe Oloyede. That is the women head drum major at FAMU. She is an amazing young lady. So it's just a lot of blackness and greatness in Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. And
my pleasure.
I'll spank Rocky for being so tough, but
no,
hey, you open up Pandora's box. So and we get all this greatness from Bishop about Florida A&M. So I think we answered it.
We don't tell one thing about our school. We don't duck no smoke because we in the sunshine.
No. We right there. Hey man, I want to appreciate you all for being consistent and doing a great job with the HBCU Coaches Corner. Anybody will tell you I'm honored anytime I'm asked to come on the show, man. We have to keep this. We're not competitors. We're compadres.
Absolutely.
We all are. We all have a goal of uplifting our HBCUs. Nobody else is going to do it. We have to do it. So, right. I mean, with your expertise, with the way that you all research the topics you discuss, that's important. We have to keep us in the front. We have to encourage us. So I just want to encourage y'all to keep doing what you're doing. I'm a fan. It was an honor to be on with y'all today.
Hey, thank you, Vaughn. We appreciate it.
Florida A&M Hall of Fame. And I'm going to say one thing. Hold on, Rocky. Vaughn, when does the 220 Club come back? When do you guys come back?
We come back in January.
So I'm asking all the HBC Coaches Corner to donate to the 220 Quarterback Club and support what they're doing because
no donation too small.
There you go. We take it all.
Hey, keep the articles coming. You write so well. I'm surprised you're a football player. You understand what I'm talking about.
All right, man.
All right.
Woo!
Hey, how did that go, Camel?
Listen, I wanted to get it all out. Now y'all know why Colzie got hired, why he got fired, who the people on the table. So you don't text me no more. You heard it from the man that's down there every day. So he gave you all the names and who he likes.
In the belly of the beast.
There you go. That's Vaughn Wilson, man. That's my big bro right there. No doubt about it.
He works with HBCU
Game Day.
Yeah. Okay.
He does great work.
He's the primary Rattler correspondent, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, like I say, he has that whole southern region. But when there's a hot topic, he's going to write about it. He is going to write about it.
Hey, y'all keeping him in business. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
He ain't running out of material. For sure. Hey, man, but we had a big game this past week, guys.
Yes. Any questions? Anybody want to call in? Got to say something about what happened this past week.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna let everybody just jump on if they want to jump on. I'll send them I'll put the link in the bam. All right. There's the link right there. If you want to jump on, you got something to say about the game. Mr. Campbell, it was one hell of a game this weekend. Coming from a school that once won the SWAC Championship here recently, what does this game mean to a program?
Well, I want to say something because I heard a lot of people say this, and I think the term now I heard, and this is my opinion, and other people have, that Prairie View out-coached Jackson State. I'm going to say Prairie View coached better than Jackson State because when it was time to make certain calls, because you saw Jackson State defense make a play, but Prairie View was just a little bit better. And the one thing that I got to give Tremaine Jackson, and I have seen a lot of people going to that vet, but when that defensive back rung that wide receiver's bell and they looked over that sideline, I knew they was into a street fight. And I think that was one of the things that Tremaine Jackson, coach, that he said, we're going to come in here, and as he said, we're going to be dogs. And I think that was setting the tone early in the game where you just saw that Prairie View was the hungrier, the harder fighting team. And I think it took Jackson State the second half to really understand that this wasn't going to be no walkover.
Hey, we got Al on. Al. Hey, we hear an echo, Al.
Oh, you're echo. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you, buddy.
Okay, man. What's going on, Rocky? What's going on, Coach Cole? What's going on, Mr. Campbell?
Hey,
listen. Hey, that game, I got to give it to Coach Cole. He called it about Tremaine. But I want to ask you all about that defense and how they came up to play, man. That defense was unbelievable. Number 25, that free safety, man. But that defense, that joker in the middle. Who was the joker? That guy in the middle that they could not move. Which I take him, man.
He's a transfer from University of Memphis.
Man, I can see. I
seen him this summer.
Hey, Coach Cole, you called me from right there on the field, and you said, "Hey, man, these jokers look good, man." He said, "I don't know if they can play, but they looked the part." And so you were very impressed when you went down there and saw the entire operation.
But see, one of the things that nobody counted that he brought 12 Division II national championship players with him. You know what I'm saying? So these kids already knew the program, know what to expect, and they came in and they knew the offense and the defense, whatever side they played on. So that's a big win, for them. And then when you come in and take over the program and you try and establish the way things go, it's good to have players in that locker room to say, guys, you just got to believe, I'm telling you. Do what he say, man. And they gelled at the right time. And now that we don't let this monster get going downhill, it's just only gonna get better. And that's what I keep on saying. I played in the SWAC. I've been around black college football. A program and a system is gonna be talent every time. I still say, and we'll all say, Jackson State had more better talent if it went man for man. But when you look at Prairie View, and if you watch them play, man, they don't make mistakes. They don't make mistakes. If that quarterback was good. He threw what? 3 interceptions against Alabama State?
4.
He threw 4 interceptions against Alabama State. But up to that point, he only threw 2. And then after that, he didn't throw no more. So they not was a mistake team, but like you say, that defense it's a new style. It's almost like Too Kathy, back in the day, but it ain't Too Kathy.
Man, listen.
It's a linebacker sitting back there, not a defensive back.
Okay, but that guy, man, he's rangy. He can get in the paint. He got that interception. Now, my question to you all, do y'all think he should have, man, I think he should have started Lockhart. People keep on saying Jacoby. I'm being honest with you. The Russ, you know, you're a mobile quarterback. You know, his style is to run, but got in, and then you asked this freshman that you took off the bench that was cold, was he ready? I just think you should have played the hot guy, and the hot guy was the freshman, and I just think that Jackson could never get it. But as I say, that big joker, that number, that defensive tackle, man, if you look at the runs, go back and look at the run. Jackson could not run that ball at all. They started trying to do sweeps. They tried to start running on the side. They couldn't run in between the tackle at all. And that right there, and that safety who laid a hit on Rembrandt, I don't know if you saw that hit, but when I'm telling you that hit he laid on him, he ain't want no more parts of that. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks again for letting me in. Rocky, love the show, man. Y'all guys be blessed.
Thank you.
All right, for sure, my brother. Hey, that was Al from Michigan. Hey, you know, the crazy thing is that everybody was thinking that Jackson State would be able to run the ball with that 3-man line, coach. And you knew, because we had talked, you knew if they didn't know how to block it up, they were going to have problems with that defense.
You know, the thing of it is people don't understand the dynamics of that defense. You know, linebackers sit at 5, where they supposed to. 3 down linemen that's going to play either outside the tackles or inside the tackles, kind of confuse the blocking scheme. But everybody always just look at the 3. But here's the issue. When those tackles give you a high hat, those outside linebackers are coming down the side. By the time that back gets the ball, you got 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage, and that kid that sits back in there in the middle of the 2 safeties, he's always unblocked. He's always unblocked. And so it makes it tough and it makes it tight, and you got to do some different things offensively to take away those weaknesses. And nobody hasn't filled it. They hadn't found where the weaknesses are or what to do, because it's outside of what they do regularly. And you got to make that adjustment as an offense coordinator if you want to be able to move the football.
It seemed like Jackson State chose to run the ball on first down quite a bit, and they ended up behind the sticks a lot. I think, this is just my opinion, that's the flaw. Once you get behind the sticks and their base defense has 5 DBs already on the floor, it makes passing the ball very difficult with in that nickel defense on 2nd and long and 3rd and long. So I just think overall, if you're gonna have to pass on early downs, I think that's how you break down that defense. Coach Cole, what do you think? Do you think passing on early downs can kind of throw that defense out, is a way to attack it?
Yeah, I mean, you could do 2 things to it. You could play action off of it because it's already a run stopping defense. All right. Number 2, you always got to have an assigned guy to block that middle linebacker. You also got to do some quarterback runs against that. You know, of course, we always talked about you got to be successful on first down. If you start hurting them with that 3-man front, they'll come out of that. And one thing that I ain't seen yet, nobody to go double tight. You know what I mean? You should be able to go double tight against that. And now they got it. When teams go double tight, the defense got to balance up, because if they don't balance up, then you outnumber them, especially on the interior. Now you get a whole bunch of double team blocks inside. So,
hey, Coach Fred, this is HBCU Coaches Corner. Anytime we get a coach on here, we got to bring you on the big screen, Coach.
Well, that's right. Coach Fred gonna hang out with us for a little bit. We had to bring them because, see, this is the Coaches Corner, so we don't do no calling. We bring the coaches on stage to hang out with us for the rest of the show. Come on, Coach Fred.
Man, Cole, man, I appreciate y'all. Great show. I saw those gold records in the back, and I was like, "Who is this?" And behind the scene, like, Mr. Campbell, I see gold records back there. Ain't a lot of people got that in their background, and caught me up to speed. But again, great show, man. Great content. The one thing I was disappointed in now, Mr. Campbell, we ain't promote the show this weekend. Now
that's why I brought you up. No, that's why I brought you up. See, I got a method to my madness. I was gonna let you say your piece, and then I was gonna say, guess what? Coach Fred is gonna be with us on Friday. See, you stepped on the lead, Coach.
My bad.
On the lead. That's okay.
Let me back it up. So just to let y'all know, man, people are listening to what you guys have going on. The show we did during the game, I had a friend, I won't say his name because I didn't get permission, who was working in that game, called me yesterday and was like, "Hey, I don't know everybody else on there, but I want to make sure I get to you." He said they had 134, 138 rushing yards. Prairie View, 100 went to the quarterback. So everything else was 2-point whatever with the running backs. I was like, oh, okay. I see what you're saying. He said, and I'll admit, we didn't have an answer for that because they hadn't done it that way in a long time. Earlier in the season, Coach Jackson them did that. And he said, make sure the people you went on with, they go back and look at the numbers outside of the quarterback. Everybody else was shut down.
Oh, the running backs didn't do anything. The running backs didn't do anything. But that's why the running by the quarterback, using the quarterback to sustain drives was so key. To bring that wrinkle into that game or save that wrinkle for that game was key.
But Coach Fred, let me ask you a question before you do that. Let me say this. When we were here, what did I say with all you coaches? I said, Cam Peters is going to have an all SWAC game. Him.
And I told that.
And no, he just need a player's game. I said, absolutely not. He is going to, and that was part of what I was talking about. But go ahead, Coach Fred. I just want to let people know when we looked at that, that's what I thought was going to be one of the keys of the game. Because Jack State was not going to just let them run up and down the field.
And I told him that. And to Coach Cole's point, when you add an extra hat, which is what they did, they added an extra hat, which was the running back. Now the quarterback is carrying. Now you don't have that answer for that if you're not prepared for that deal, right? And then on top of that, I didn't realize Prairie View played offensively. They had over 80 plays.
Yeah.
You're talking about
84 plays.
You're talking about a defense that's been out there for a long time. And another point that we didn't bring up, I didn't catch it because it didn't seem that way, but Jackson went 4 series of 3 and out, less than 10 yards.
Wow.
4 series.
The first 3 series, they had 8 yards, 9 plays for 8 yards.
Rocky called that out. Rocky called that out the first part. But
Man.
guys, do you know where they got the offenses from? Why they ran the quarterback so much? Have y'all forgot? That's how Jackson State, they beat Deion Sanders them. North Carolina Central beat Deion them. Quarterback runs.
And the week before, we did the same thing with Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, because Jackson State, because they blitz so much, they don't have a second level of tacklers. So when you get that extra blocker, that quarterback running free.
Yes. And when you sit down and you try to fix it up, Coach, you know this. When you sit down, you get everybody there on the bench and you're trying to fix the problem. Hey, what happened here? What happened? Punt. And you're like, what? I just got the whiteboard.
Well, Coach Fred, that's why I asked very early in the game, Coach, when you prepare 2 weeks, and at the time I asked y'all the question is, I said, hey, they done ran 6 plays in the game, 4 yards. Do you start questioning your plan at that point? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to change everything, but something has to be. To run 6 plays in game 4 yards, something ain't quite right, or something is going wrong.
At that point, you're the plan B. And now you're trying to get your checks in line, but everything is going so fast. And luckily, you know, it was kind of back and forth, but then you add in the special teams part of it, and you guys go back and look at it. Jackson was bringing a lot of those balls out of the end zone and starting less than favorable position, field position offensively. And, you know, with the new rules, if you're not zero and you're catching that ball in the end zone or on the 5, fair catch it, you get it at no worse than the 25-yard line, right? A lot of times, going back and looking at that game myself after I talked to my friend, they were starting inside the 20. Inside the 20. So that's tough. So he wanted me to make sure that I let the panel know that they didn't get manhandled and just moved. Yeah, it was just
no. If you look at their yards per play, that's very respectable, Coach. But just think about how many teams across the country can run 84 plays and have, I think it was literally 4 penalties that they had, offensive penalties that they had. That's a lot of plays, and a lot of teams aren't disciplined enough to sustain drives like that, to be honest with you.
That's tough. And
if they make any other school other than Prairie View drives the ball 8, 9, 10 plays every time, somebody's gonna have a holding, somebody's gonna have a offsides, you understand what somebody's gonna have a chop block. There's something that's gonna happen to set that offense back. And Prairie View, for whatever reason, they didn't have those kind of negative plays. You know,
now, Fred, my man is saying because the quarterback rushed 100 yards, that ain't domination. No, is he not back there to move the ball, to get first downs? That's what a quarterback should. If it ain't there, get out and get your 3 yards.
I think he's saying it's a schematic thing rather than them manhandling them. Is that what you're saying, Fred?
Yeah, that part.
I differ from that. 42 plays, that means you were getting 10 plays a quarter. You only made 2 first downs, one in the first half and one in the second half. Coach, man, you didn't rush the ball 100 yards. You only rushed it 80 sometimes yourself. 80 yards. I just, like you said, every time they got the ball back in the 20, they wouldn't go. In the first half, they went across the 50-yard line maybe twice.
Once.
And one time, I felt the reverse play. Should have went with the reverse play, where he had the quarterback run and he tried to reverse it. And then when he went for it on that 4th down, if you take them 2 plays off, I don't think they might have passed the 50.
Well,
but one drive.
Anytime you turn a team over 3 times in any game, you're supposed to win that game, right? And they turn over 3 times. But again, that was a great championship game. That's what it should have been. Yeah. I want to flip back to, when you talk about them Florida boys there, Mr. Campbell, and understanding what that recruiting ground looks like, for the highest of the 7 hills, you get back to that. I think it's an easy fix in this day and age when we're talking college football. But, hats off. I wanted to make sure I came on because I didn't hear Mr. Campbell promoting what we're doing.
Well, let's talk about that. Hey, this Friday, 8 to 10, we know all you people are coming in for the Celebration Bowl. We want you to join us at the Embassy Suites in Buckhead, Peachtree Road. Hey, man, listen, come early, have dinner at Roof Chris Steakhouse, have a drink at the bar, and then come up to the loft area where we're going to have me, Coach Cole, Coach Fred, Rocky. Coach, who else who else is coming? Bruce Eugene is coming.
Melvin Spears, Eugene. We might even get to coaches Tremaine Jackson in them because they're supposed to be having dinner at the Roof Chris Steakhouse. Unless it's another one in Atlanta somewhere. I think they're supposed to have it there in Buckhead. So I was told that by Trey Oliver, Coach Oliver.
Mr. Campbell, how many Roof Chris in Atlanta? Because you frequent.
Well, they got one now. It might be the one downtown.
Okay.
You frequent. That's your kind of living. So I just thought maybe.
Hey man, listen. As they say, if we go to Ruth's Chris, she's special. That's all I'm gonna say on that. If we go to Ruth's Chris, she's special.
Hey, and there's only one side of the menu at Ruth's Chris.
And this is a family show, and we're gonna just leave it at that. We're not gonna tell that joke. We're not gonna tell that joke.
Ain't a whole lot of Happy Meals on that menu. I'm just telling y'all.
Say it again. Where we gonna be, Coach Bishop?
We're gonna be at the Embassy Suites Buckhead on Peachtree Road, right in the heart of Buckhead, in the loft area. Come right upstairs the loft. You can't miss us. As soon as you come in the atrium, you go see us. You go right here, have nice lights. Gonna have Coach Fred there. Like I said, Coach Cole, me, Rocket, Bruce Eugene, other coaches, Melvin Spears. We're gonna have some people that are fans that think they know the game is gonna come talk to us. Scotty will probably be up in the house. Perry will probably be up in the house. Yeah. So we're gonna have a lot of people, man. So a great.
And what time it start?
And from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time.
I got you.
Now, Coach Fred, did you get any information on how Jacoby Morgan is doing? Because that kid went out on his shield, and I think people haven't talked enough about what he did on that day. Come out and play, obviously, maybe a little under the weather or what have you, and for him to really get him back in the game when it looked like the game was fading away. And unfortunately, on that play that he got him back in the game, he got hurt. But do you have any information that you can share about, how he's doing and
No, he didn't give me on that. He just said that, when that happened, it took everything in those guys in the college shirt to get those kids that were still playing back in it mentally. Because, that kid had worked to get back since that injury, and they saw that and they really believe in that kid. So when that happened, they really had to work to get the kids focused off of him going in the locker room and, get back to the business at hand. So, you got to tip your hat to them for that, because they could have lost it right there at that moment. But, that staff pulled it all together and made it a competitive game, especially when you look at it. Like, you look at it and you look at the stats and you feel like, okay, they were probably dominated, but it was a 2-point game. 2-point game. And, a play here or there, it could have went haywire for PV. A play here or there could have went haywire for Jackson. To come back, get yourselves ready mentally and still fight and only have it be a 2-point game, man. Hats off to that staff and those kids for locking back in mentally after they lost their leader.
Yeah, that was tremendous. I thought because when he limped off, you pretty much knew he wasn't coming back. Like it wasn't a situation where could he get back to the game. If it was obvious to us on TV that he was done for the evening, I'm sure right there with him, they knew he was done for the evening too. And again, hats off to Jackson State and particularly Jacoby Morgan, because he went out on his shield, Coach. He went out on his shield. He went out swinging, and I think that's something that's worthy of being recognized.
No doubt. And before I leave, one more time, Mr. Campbell, what it is Friday?
Hey, Embassy Suites, Buckhead, 3285 Peachtree Road Northeast, in the loft area from 8 to 10. HBCU Coaches Corner live with the best coaches in the game. And I'll say this too, we got coaches, as Coach Cole say, that are looking for jobs. So all you ADs, come on, hang out with you. You're going to be in town. Come do some interviews right there. We're going to get you some good coaches, because if you ain't, my thing is this, if you are not, your team ain't in the game, you need to hire some better coaches anyway. So you need to go ahead and get these guys.
Hey, Coach, did you work with Quinn Gray at Alcorn?
I did.
Okay. All right.
What is 2 seasons, I think it was, the COVID year, which we didn't play, and the next season. So I worked with him, his DC, his co-DC, his D-line guy. We were all on that staff together. So I know those guys. I don't know if y'all saw how they lost that game, man. Tremendous job they did, just to make it to that point. And, special teams play here or there, they're still playing, So, again, hats off to him and his staff. I think he won Coach of the Year for that conference. I think his DC is up for Assistant Coach of the Year. Africa-wise, AFCA Division II coach, assistant coach of the year. So hats off to them, man. Those guys had a tremendous year. And, Quinn's a Florida boy, so I'm always rooting for him.
Coach, let me ask you a question. Now, you said something. See, now this is great. This HBCU Coach Corner. You actually coached with Coach Quinn. Great. Mm-hmm. What do you think, if he would become the FAMU coach, what do you think he brings to the table being a coach, since you've seen him up close early and now you've seen him matriculate and more experience and now being a head coach? What do you think he would bring to the table being a FAMU head coach?
I think you guys hit it earlier in the show. He's a FAMUan. That means a lot to him. Even though he was at Alcorn, he was still checking the score for FAM. He was still checking what they were doing. He's an offensive guy. He's a guy that, shed blood and tears up there on the hill. So he understands what it is to be successful there. He's got, I think he's still in the record books for some stuff, there at FAM. And again, like I said, it's a special pride when you're talking about going back to a place that you helped build. You laid some bricks there, you laid some foundation, and, he's still connected to it. It still means a lot to him. I don't care what anybody says. Any Saturday other than when they played each other, I'd be willing to bet any amount of money that he was checking that score to see what they did, just to make sure that the place that he helped build was still moving forward. So, to see him, I think what he would bring is an exciting brand of football offensively, tough-minded kids. He knows what it is to be in Tallahassee. He knows what it is to basically share campus with Florida State. So he understands what it takes to be a winner there, because he was a winner there. So I think, if he's the guy, the program will be in great hands.
Now, Coach,
you hire me as your, because I think I just, but anyway, that's a whole other.
Hey. Well, I can tell you, because I went back to my alma mater and took over as a head coach, and it's one of the greatest feelings ever. To go back to your alma mater and sit in that seat, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for Florida A&M. You're gonna bring back alumni back. They're gonna be feeling better. They're gonna be able to put their hands on you. And if you can get that thing going, man, they'll take that, what you call that club, 220 club? Y'all talking about raising money. If he can get that thing going there and win it and being an alumnus, you talking about homecoming to be off the charts. The whole city, who followed Quinn when he was there as a quarterback in them days.
All the people,
man, all those guys have come back. You'll see players coming back from everywhere, man. And the thing that to make that even successful is when you embrace them into the fold of your program. So, I think it's a win-win. He's a good coach. He's shown that he can turn programs around, and shit, man, I don't see nothing wrong with that take.
Hey, Coach Freddie, would you be willing to recruit Tampa? Coach Gray?
Man, if I could show you this phone right here with the DMs and hey, Coach, where you at? What's going on? Got some kids. We sure enough get it rocking. And Mr. Cam, I think y'all do a thing called a strike tour in the summer.
We do.
Where the head coach goes and visits all those alumni chapters within the state to speak with, on what Coach Cole just said. It'd be standing room only, especially in South Florida, because that's where he's from. So, again, unless there's just something that I'm missing with a different candidate, I don't even know if he is a candidate, but, that would be something that would breathe, new life into the program. And then, since I'm a representative of Quinn, just have patience and understanding, where he's starting and getting behind it. And again, just having patience. I think Coach Cole spoke on that earlier in the show with him. I think
he's got to get good people around him, not his friends, not his teammates. He's got to go get good coaches. That's where you mess up at sometimes.
Well, that's why you got to hold Coach Fred and get Bruce Eugene. And see, then we take that thing all the way from Atlanta all the way down to South Florida. And then we flip this thing really quick. Because Coach Fred, I'm trying to tell you, these folks want to Colzie to stay as long as he could, but I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all already know we about to be right back rolling. Coach Fred, let me tell you something. I never seen so many other people root for a man to keep a job that didn't go to Florida A&M. But y'all already know what's about to happen. They know, Coach. They know it. We about to get back rolling. They know it.
Friday night, man. Y'all make sure y'all come check in with us. I think Mr. Campbell's buying French fries for everybody. 2 drinks on Mr. Campbell.
Hey, man, French fries and waters. I got you. Double shots of water.
They probably don't even have fries at Ruth Chris, man.
He bringing them in.
Chick-fil-A across the street.
Oh, okay.
So all y'all need to get something to eat that you can't afford, Ruth Chris. Just go over there to Chick-fil-A. You can bring it on up there. They're not going to bother.
Come on back.
But Coach Fred, I appreciate you because, listen, and I'm just going to say this. Coach Fred is going to be one of our special contributors. We're always going to bring him on with something hot. I'm going to text him because you bring a lot to the show, and we really appreciate it. And I just think the more coaches that we bring on, and Coach Cole knows this, but we had such a great response of that round table and on the watch party because coaches were giving announcements. Coaches were letting people know. We got to keep that thing going.
Hey, Coach Fred, last thing. We may have to end up changing the name of the show to HBCU Championship Coaches Corner. You understand? If you get that's show them one more time, Coach.
You see, y'all don't know, see, Brock, you were working. You know, did you see when he came to with his Michael Jordan pose?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, them folks.
Yeah, and that's important, man. Winners breed winners. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying, Coach. You're a winner. Coach Cole's a winner.
And what people got to understand, there's jobs for young coaches to come in as head coaches and learn. There's jobs for them. But when you're talking about, top football, we take football serious schools, that's what you got to do. You can't bring nobody in there that ain't got nothing in his resume about winning no championship. He don't know what it look like, what it smell like, what it is.
Hey, you hit on it. Before I get out of here, we know what it is when we hit the door. We understand that.
Go to work. You go to work. You go to work, and where you need to, from cleaning the offices up to the locker room to getting the equipment. Don't let me start talking.
Hey, my wife brought me a vacuum for my office, and that was the hall vacuum. You know what I'm saying? So everybody used that same vacuum to vacuum out their office.
And you think a guy that live in a mansion, playing in front of 70,000 in the best facilities you can get, gonna come to that and be like, "Hey, you mean Tim, I got to clean my own office?" Yeah. Yeah, you do. And wipe it off and everything else. But guess what? On Saturday, them folk gonna show up and they want to see a championship product.
Appreciate it, man. And again, Friday, Mr. Campbell, he got the fries, he got the drinks. We're going to be there. Make sure y'all come support. Looking forward to it, man. And thank you guys again for real.
All right,
appreciate you, Fred.
Thank you, that Coach.
We got us a hot one right here, Rocky. This your boy.
We got old troublemaker here. Hey, I ain't going to even announce him. Come on, what you got to say, man?
You got me on.
No, I got you on. You on.
Hey, now, brother Cameron, I disagree. I disagree with what was going on. There was no adjustments made in the game. I'm be nice. I'm gonna calm down now. There was no adjustment. This goes back 7 games. Yeah. This goes back 7 games. Coach Cole.
Yes.
Let me say this first before I forget. Domination ain't getting in the red zone, not scoring 4 times, getting in the red zone, not being able to score 4 times. I just want you. I just ponder on that for a minute. That's what Prairie View did. They got in the red zone 4 times, didn't score. The problem wasn't our defense. The problem was the offense not making adjustments. Running east and west, not running north and south, not utilizing your. I wanted to talk while Coach Fred was on because during the game he was analyzing the whole game. Him and KJ Black. You have a high potent offense. I don't think Prairie View defense is fast as Jackson State offense at all. When they finally threw the ball to Rembert and he split them 2 guys and he ran down, he zipped through there. That gave them they started respecting that offensive speed. They don't have the same speed. I think that white boy in that booth need to go. Now I believe that that the Hispanic guy that's developing the offensive line, he should have a lifetime job as long as he's there, as long as he's doing his job. But them two crackers is up in that booth. No, they need to go. And I ain't fuck hiring no crackers. That's all I'm gonna say before I get too far gone.
Willie, go ahead and take your sleeping medicine. All right, cause this is a family show, Willie, and we all inclusive here. We don't use those type of words around here. And again, let me just say this: the opinions expressed by the last caller are the opinions of Uncle Willie, and do not reflect those opinions of the Coaches Corner. We do not condone or promote what was just said. So I just want to put that out there. I ain't got nothing. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with the Coaches Corner. That's Uncle Willie.
Let me read this. Jackson State averaged 32 points. They scored 21. That's two scores they were down. Total touchdown. Total first downs 276. They had 2. You know what I mean? Rushing on first downs 153. What they had, maybe 15 yards on first down. They averaged keeping the ball something like 35 minutes. What was in the game? 23? Where if I don't know and don't think when I was watching the game, they never threat. The only time they threat is when Prairie View ran that reverse and didn't get that first down.
The turnovers kept them in the game, Coach. The turnovers kept them in the game.
Yeah.
Turnovers, missed field goals, going for it on their own side of the field. I mean, again, I wouldn't use the word domination. I wouldn't use that, but I would think they thoroughly control the action for sure. I think domination is a bit hyperbolic when you say it's 23-21, but Prairie View controlled the action. Wouldn't you say that, Mr. Campbell?
Well, let me tell you what I will say, and I think even Jack State will admit this. The dominant part is that they dominated the line of scrimmage. Nobody could deny that Prairie View dominated the line of scrimmage on the defensive side. That's the reason why they only had 84 yards rushing. And that is a credit to the defensive staff at Prairie View. So when you're sitting up there with a team that feels pretty confident that they can go anywhere between, at the low end, 180, and their average like 260, 240, and they're hitting 300, and you only holding 84 yards. That is a really big eye-opener. I think that really caught Jack State off guard because they are used to getting big plays out of their running game. They're used to getting big, long runs, 20, 30, 40, 50-yard runs that set up either a touchdown or is a touchdown. When they saw that not happening, I think, and then, of course, when Jacoby Morgan goes down, Lockhart has to come in. And, of course, the play of the game clearly was, and it was the mistake. I think T.C. Taylor even say that letting Lockhart throw that ball instead of just down, taking a knee and going into half, because that was the 3-point spread that actually lost them the game.
Yeah. I agree with you, Campbell. I believe Coach TC, in hindsight, realizes that was a big mistake. I think he felt like he needed to get back in the game. I also think that Prairie View getting the ball coming out of halftime affected that decision as well. You know what I mean? He didn't want to end up 2 scores down with a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? So again, I just think the Prairie View controlled the action, and overall, I was watching this game, and y'all know that I had picked Prairie View to win, but at no point was I thought Jackson State was in threat of winning this game. Even when he fumbled with 2 minutes left to go in the game inside the 2-yard line, I still didn't think Jackson State was going to be able to move that ball because I thought they were in control of the action. I thought their defense had controlled the action the entire game. Let me see. Is that gonna be in Atlanta?
No, I think Blue, are you coming to Atlanta? I thought you said wait, because maybe that was a SWAC championship. You said you wanted to be in the, but I think it might be Celebration Bowl. Blue, are you coming to the Celebration Bowl?
If you're gonna be there on Friday, make sure you come by, man.
Got to have, and that's the Embassy Suites, 8 to 10 p.m. Peachtree Road, Buckhead. Come on through HBCU Coaches Corner live with us three and all the coaches and people that think they know how to coach. We don't care. Just come on up and show out.
Now, this is a good question. I think this is bigger than people mention it, because there have been a couple games that Ahmad Miller struggled, and they brought Davenport in, and Davenport was able to move the ball. I don't know that he's a better running back, so to speak, but I do know, I'm trying to think of what game was that, where Ahmad was running for about 2 yards a carry, and Davenport came in and rushed for over 100 yards. And so in situations like that, I think, Davenport could have made the difference. Now, having two running backs like that may have been able to give – let me ask you this here, Coach. Could you combat that defense with having two backs in the backfield?
Yeah, I think it helps. Anytime you got an extra blocker, you know what I mean, it helps you versus that defense. And you got to run downhill at it, to me. And when you spread it out, that's playing into their hands, I think. I've never seen any bunch action. You got also formation, that defense, throw some motion in it. You just can't let them sit up. And that's what has happened to the spread offense, period, is that you sit up there in 2x2 and 3x1, and now these defensive coordinators are showing you all kind of looks. They're giving you a shell look, but it ain't always cover 4, or it ain't always lanes, or, quarter halves. They throwing and make you look, your quarterback think it's this, but it's really something else, because they can just line up and know where you're going to line up at.
I'll even say this, that touchdown that he threw, that was a bad read.
I mean, because if we sit around and talk about if it was the fifth, they missed one in the end zone on the halfback pass, and they missed the slant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 14 points right there.
That was
so,
easy.
And then what if he don't fumble the ball at the inch line? That's another touchdown. So we talk about that, but those things just happen.
But I think just the mere mention of 80 plays, 84 plays versus 42 plays, 41 plays. I think that's a huge difference.
Hey, make sure, guys, too, that's 8 to 10. Okay, we put it on there PM.
Yeah, no, ain't nobody showing 8 to 10 in the morning, Coach.
Yeah. Hey, look, you got down there free breakfast. Me, I'd have been like, it's 8 to 10. Oh, free breakfast. Oh,
man, free. I'm talking about you get your room. You get your room there. Go and get your room there. Just stay.
Yeah.
Coach, let me ask you this here, Coach. Do you think, now I'm gonna ask you to go inside TC Taylor's head? Do you think, in hindsight, he would go ahead and just start and prepare Lockhart for that game rather than go with Jacoby and Morgan if he had to do it all over again?
Let me say this, and I've been that way, and I know TC Taylor is a good offensive coordinator. When I seen him on the sidelines, and I've been there before, he was scrambling, Coach, on what we need to do, what plays need to come to me to be able to get some going. They never really got nothing going. Even a touchdown they scored, it was 2 big plays. You know what I mean?
It was a bad read. It should have been intercepted.
Yeah. So I think he scrambled with that. He scrambled with trying to make it happen, on that defensive front, man, and he just couldn't find the answer. They had a couple things when the guy ran into the guy and he caught the touchdown, but they called it back. I mean, man, that was a relief. But then when they called it back, man, and that was the only time they scored on that one. So
this, but to talk, to wrap up the game, I think Prairie View played well. Ultimately, Jackson State made a valiant effort considering the circumstances. They just came up short, Coach. But before we go on to the Celebration Bowl and the matchup for the Celebration Bowl, what do you think about what's happening at Jackson State right now with the players, some key players, deciding to enter the transfer portal? Either one of you guys can answer that question.
Well, here's the thing. This is what happens when you got a lot of good players, right? You got a lot of good players. Amon Miller, 1,000-yard rusher. Guess what? And we got all these street agents out here that can say, hey, I can get you into a group of 5. Low-level power 4 team. You can make whatever you make it the NIL Jack State, we're going to triple it. So when you got guys, and we've just seen this in the conference, and me and Rocky, we talked about this. When you got guys all conference, what I tell you, we had this conversation, these all conference guys, people are going to come get them. So I don't think there's a testament of saying something's wrong at Jack State. I just think that showed that they got a lot of good players. And these guys are going to look for opportunities. And it's not the first time it's going to happen. It's not going to be the last time. So if you got a kid like Amar Miller, and coach knows this is a running back, hey, man, with one carry, you could be done. And, again, being a running back, you go to another place where, again, you can make money. That's what they're going to do. Now, one of the things, Rocky, I don't know how much time we got. I would love to play that clip that I sent you guys from the FCS coach about building them up and the research that they had done. Do we have time? I mean, we don't have time.
Yeah. I mean,
let me pull it up. Go ahead. You can get Chuck while I'm getting that up.
Okay. Let me bring my man. Chuck, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner. What's going on?
How's it going? Happy holiday to you all, and it's great to chat with you all, and a shout out to Coach Tremaine Jackson and the Prairie View A&M Panthers on their SWAC Championship, and he lived up to that song that he sung, and they got to Atlanta. I think his new message now, getting to Atlanta, is business trip, no recess.
What'd you say? His new message is no recess, huh?
Yeah, business trip, no recess. I think that's his new message. And Coach Cole is to be credited for what he did and teaching him all the skills out there, and look at what it has turned out to be. And I love how he operates, and that's going to be my landing gear. You all take care.
All right. Hey, thank you, Chuck. We appreciate it.
All right.
Now, Coach Cole, we're going to talk a little bit about the SWAC Championship, and while Campbell is looking for. I got the video. I got the video real quick because I think this sums up what a lot of frustration that's going to happen with a lot of FCS women. Hold on 1 second. Let me share it. That a lot of FCS programs are going to run into. Give me a second. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, we got him there. All right, we're getting ready to play it. And I just think this is amazing discussion that he's having right here.
Well, it's a extremely difficult. It's a big challenge. You especially when you do a great job of recruiting, you do a great job of bringing guys in, and you do a great job, as our staff has done, developing players. And when you do that and you have a winning program, people are obviously watching, and it can be a really big challenge. It's been a big problem, I think, in college football. Certainly, there's been some guys that have been able to go out and better themselves and have opportunity to earn a lot of money while playing college football at good programs. But I've seen way too many that have, to me, died in the portal because they leave a great situation, and now they're no longer playing. We did a study here of all the players that have left NAU and all the players that have left the Big Sky Conference, and found that only 14% of those players have moved on and had more snaps or the same amount of snaps as they did at their previous school. So a lot of guys are leaving and losing out and missing out on opportunities. And and I think it's a shame, and we've got to get a handle on this. We have too many agents out there that are giving guys bad information, and so guys at an FCS program like this feel like maybe they have an opportunity to go do more because they're getting bad advice. And I think that's something that we've got to continue to find an answer for and wrap our arms around much better in college football.
The fact that he did the analysis at 14%, I think that was shocking to me. And to understand, he's talking about the Big Sky Conference, that, again, FCS, again, big-time teams they're playing, Montana State, Sacramento State, UC Davis. Again, this is not no kiddie conference. The FCS produces champions. They have a little bit more money, definitely than the HBCUs. And players are taking this advice from people, and it's not working out. For some it does, some it doesn't. But they did the analysis. So these are things that I think these kids have to be careful because, again, and Ahmad Miller, I hope wherever he goes that he plays, not be the third or fourth running back. Because if he plays at Jackson State and stays at Jackson State, he's got potential to get drafted. Especially being a third there, I'll rush at Jackson State. So that's just very interesting. I saw that, and I just want to say that's the things that we're dealing with. But also, this is what happens when you're looking at how well Jackson State's recruiting. They got to keep recruiting because one dip, then they're in trouble. And that's why teams can flip so quick. Now, that's why I don't think there'll be any consistency when people are looking at having a run like North Carolina A&T did. I don't think you're ever going to see that ever again. I think you're going to see, because literally in the last 10 years, we've had, I think, 5 different SWAC champions that went to Celebration Bowl. Grambling, Alcorn, FAMU, Jackson State, and now Prairie View. So, and the only person that went back-to-back, well, Jackson State went back-to-back with Dion, but non-Dion was the Grambling team and Alcorn. Well, Alcorn, I think, went back early. But the last 10 years, that's what we got.
Well, here's what I'll say, Coach, and I'm gonna let you go after this. The issue with the transfer portal is not just the guys getting in the portal. Like look at Texas Tech, and y'all can look at this. Look at this. My really good friend is a Texas Tech alumni, and the reality is that when the transfer portal opened, they had like 40 guys enter the portal. How are they gonna field a team without getting guys back? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so the way that it's all transactional now, Camp. Like you can't discourage a guy from getting in the portal because a guy gets it because one guy gets in the portal because the coach asked him to get in the portal. The next guy gets in the portal because he wants a better opportunity. If the coach is,
did you hear him?
Yes.
Okay, what did he say? 14%.
No, but it doesn't, Coach. What I'm saying is, if you don't want a player playing at your program, what difference does it make where
he's not talking about that? See, you do this. You're very good at switching what the conversation.
No, but what I'm saying is that's
not what he's talking about. No, he's talking about kids that we want to keep that lead. That we want to keep. Jackson State wants to keep Ahmad Miller. I'm pretty sure of it. Nobody telling him to leave. And what he said in the Big Sky Conference, the whole conference, that when those kids leave, and he's talking about kids they want to keep, 14% of them play fewer snaps.
Coaches need to quit telling kids to leave.
Okay, that's a different conversation.
You understand?
Then don't have that. We're not having that. That's not the conversation we're having. What he said had nothing to do with that. Now you want to have to say, Steve, I want to have a different conversation. Let's have your conversation.
No. We can have your. What I'm saying is, I understand players wanting to go for greener pastures, making more money. That's understandable. What you're saying is the prospect of the kids doing that is very rare. Is what you're saying based on the study.
I'm not saying he said
based on the study that was done.
Correct.
Right. But I'm saying there's an aspirational aspect of a kid getting in the portal and wanting a better opportunity. You can't. How do you?
Is it a better opportunity if you get no opportunity? That's his point.
You can't get the opportunity
if you don't get it.
Coach, you can't get Coach Campbell, you can't get the opportunity if you don't enter the portal.
Let me ask you a question. Do you? You're a hardworking man.
Yes.
I bet you money you don't quit your job. You have different. I bet you ain't quit that one job till you knew you had another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of these kids don't do that, Rocky. That's the point. Most of these kids don't know they're getting in this portal. I'm gonna let you finish. But the problem with what he's saying is they're getting into this portal without good guys and counsel. Now, if you got good guys like Ahmad Miller, I'm pretty sure somebody probably told him when that portal open, he's probably gonna sign somewhere. I ain't talking about him. I get him. But what he's talking about is that they've done the research with kids that are on our similar or higher because they're winning playoff games. That's the whole argument. That they're not getting the same opportunity and they will be better staying where they're at and matriculating through school.
Yeah, I believe there's some truth to that, Campbell. But the risk but how can you? I'm understanding. How can you? What are they willing to offer a kid to make him turn down the opportunity to seek out greener pastures? They have to offer something.
No, I'll tell you what. Okay, now I'm gonna just speak for Jack State, and I'm not Jack State. I'm not the coaches. I'm gonna offer you. Guess what? You're gonna be all SWAC again. You're gonna be playing in the biggest games in HBCU football, and we're gonna keep matriculating you because of all the eyes we have that potentially we can get you to the NFL. That's what I'm sure TC Taylor probably would tell him.
So the thing is, Campbell, this is the issue, and I talked to you about this offline. There are kids on the University of Texas team that don't even touch the field, and they're getting $400,000.
Those kids were recruited to Texas. Ahmad Miller's not going to Texas. See, that's what you see, man, you can't switch it. Those Texas kids are already Texas level kids. Ahmad Miller is not going to Texas. And this is no disrespect to Ahmad Miller. I'm talking about more likely than not, and this is not disrespect. This is being realistic. He's either going to go, well, if he's got, he's not going to go lateral. He's probably going to go to a lower level group of 14.
UAB,
right. There you go. He's not going to Texas.
What is UAB offering?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, now I'm going to use his thing. They can offer it, but what he's saying, the scientific research said that potentially, based off of their research, that he's going to play less than he would have at Jackson State.
So all right. So this is
right. And listen, and those guys saying that's what I'm saying. We're just using. I don't think Ahmad Miller jumped in that portal without pretty much knowing that he got a good idea. We're just using his name, but not specific of where he's going. So I'm not.
No. What I'm saying is, and I'm saying the metric that probably pushed Ahmad Miller in the portal was not playing time because he's playing a lot.
Exactly. But the flip side of what the guy is saying is these guys leave and don't get playing time.
They're not leaving for playing time, though.
No. You didn't. You didn't listen. He said you're playing in the big sky. You're playing. You're producing. You leave here and then you go to another school and you don't play.
Coach, why are they leaving, Coach?
Man, for greener pastures. And that's just it's college football now.
You know, Ahmad Miller ran for 1,000 yards and was first team all SWAC. The odds are, I would tell him the odds are no matter where you go, you're not going to get that outcome. No matter where you go, you're not going to. I'm sure his parents know that. He's going for money.
Okay. So the question, this goes back to the thing. So again, he'll go. So this is we never know because this is where it goes and nobody has a crystal ball. I'm just showing you what the coach is saying. That again, he can go. And again, depending on what the money is, it is always, and coach, correct me if I'm wrong, I always think it's better to, if you're trying to get in the NFL, the way you get in the NFL is by playing.
I agree.
You have people on this level get in the NFL because they played. I'd rather be somebody that played, if my dream is to get in the NFL, than not play. Now, again, I don't know his family situation. I don't know, but everybody's different. So I'm never going to say, because it's very easy to save money. I get it. So I can't argue that point. But I'm talking about if I'm going to play, I want to be somewhere where I'm going to play, not sit on the bench. And even as a competitor, I don't want to sit in the bench. I don't want to sit on the bench at Texas and not play. I'm a competitor. I want to play. I want to be, like I said, he played, like I said, it might not mean anything to you, but I know guys that just play just for the love of the game.
So you know how many kids that left Texas the last 2 years?
How many?
5 kids. And you know why? Because they paying. The kids are leaving for money. They not, see, that's what I'm saying. The kids aren't leaving for playing time. They leaving for money. Obviously, playing time.
You know how many kids leave? What the kid? Wait a minute now. Joe Burrow left Ohio State to go to LSU.
That was pre-NIL.
It doesn't matter. He was okay. Well, I tell you what. Hold on. This ain't pre-NIL. Quinn Ewers, don't play with me. Quinn Ewers moved to Ohio to get the NIL money. Stayed at Ohio State. Wasn't going to play in front of them black quarterback and brought his ass to Texas.
You're right.
We can do this all day.
No. But Steve, he got paid $3 million in Texas.
You missed the point.
No.
Ohio State.
No. So Steve, let me just because maybe I apologize if I'm not being clear. What I'm saying is, kids certainly will move for playing time, right? They certainly will, but the motivation for most kids moving, in my opinion, is because they're being offered a better NIL pay.
But see, now I'm gonna flip it. If you go, okay, the kid from Ole Miss, the running back, he left Ohio State. He came to Ole Miss. He's improved his draft stock because he wasn't gonna play at Ohio State. He's playing at Ole Miss.
No. What I'm saying is, he's still getting paid at Ole Miss, though.
Yeah, but you see, what's gonna make more money? You playing or not playing?
So I don't know what Jackson. Okay, coach, this is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm making clear. At FCS schools, I don't know what kids are getting paid at FCS schools, but say they're getting $2,000 a month. Say the best players are getting $2,000 a month, right? And a kid can go to Memphis and get $10,000 a month.
I can't argue that.
So what I'm saying is, Memphis already got 5 running backs. And they thought more highly of Ahmad Miller out of high school than they did than they did. So my point is, he fully understands that he's probably going to have to go compete for a job and leave a place where he's the man. He's the man at Jackson State. He's not leaving because they're guaranteeing him playing time. In my opinion, he's leaving because they're guaranteeing him bread.
Okay, so he gets $10,000. So he's a sophomore now. He got 2 more years. He's gonna get $20,000. Okay, I'm gonna play your game. He gets $20,000, right?
A month. I'm saying $10,000 a month.
Okay, so you give him $100,000.
Or $5,000 a month. Or $5,000.
No, that's fine. So he's getting $50,000. We'll whatever number, $50,000 or $100,000 he's gonna get, right? He gets $100,000, but he doesn't play at all. He get $50,000. So his football career is done. He plays Jack State, maybe have a fucking 1,700 yards because they're giving him the ball. He goes down to the Senior Bowl and balls out. Even if he's a low round pick, he gets $200,000. Free agent, he's getting $200,000. So which one is better than?
And I'm gonna ask you this: when the last time a running back from the SWAC has started in the NFL?
When the last time we had a running back this talented like Ahmad Miller?
Again, we've had some really nice running backs since I've been watching SWAC football.
Who do you think is better than Ahmad Miller?
Kid from North Carolina A&T.
The kid from to me,
coach.
To me, no. To me,
Cromwell from Alabama.
To me, the kid from TSU is better than Ahmad Miller, and he ain't on the roster. What was the kid's name that ran for 1,500 yards, coach, a couple years ago?
Oh, for Texas Southern?
Yeah.
I think Ahmad, well, again, listen, all I'm saying is, but I'm using the guy's point because that we can't argue. He did the data check, and he said these kids leave the Big Sky Conference and they're not playing. They leave for they're leaving for money, and he's saying to him, that's not a good thing. But you can't stop it because no matter what, we're going to get cherry picked no matter what. Our good players, especially the skilled players, have the ability to move up. The wide receivers, the running backs, potentially defensive backs, because I don't see too many I don't see too many of the big guys, and maybe you guys know. I'm just thinking because again, we're talking off the top of our head. How many big guys have moved up?
Well,
Maybe
I think it's a balanced thing. Not necessarily big money. They could go to a school like James Madison or East Carolina in the mid majors and make 75,000, 50,000. You're in a better program. The dormitory or where you live at is better. They might have a car for you there. It is a possibility that they
training table.
Yeah. To better yourself, but just as if these guys are jumping out of the portal going to these schools, it's more. Again, what Bishop I think is saying is actually stuck in the portal.
That's what I'm saying. You can't argue that. It's 5,000 kids in the portal. So Rocky, all them are like you. It's 5,000 kids that their college career is over.
Well, not necessarily
people like you.
They go find these schools, and some of them, you right, Campbell. Some of them will jump from a Jackson State to an Edward Waters if he's stuck in the portal and can't go back to Jackson State. So yeah, it is a whole bunch of kids in the portal that don't get. Rather back at Rocky's point, whether the coach put them there or asked them to get in there. And I think both of you guys right. I think this guy just trying to. I guess he's just saying that there's 14% lead from Division I schools because that's where he at, or is he at?
No, they're FCS.
Okay,
he's in the big sky. He's in the big sky.
In 100% pie, basically, only 14% of them actually play. The other 86% don't. Yeah, they play less snaps.
Well, yeah, up on that level.
Right. They
like Rocky is saying, they are at maybe better facilities, better nutrition.
But they're not playing, Coach. What does nutrition mean if you ain't playing?
Well, I'm just saying. Sometimes people just want to get out of they bad situation.
Okay. So I'm over here. I'm about to stand on my HBCU soapbox, and for people that don't like, I don't care. Jack State is a great school, and he's gonna get stuff from Jack State that he ain't gonna get from other schools. FAMU is a great school. I know people, and my relationships have got me through that have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I can tell you from people from Prairie View, Rocky, what you doing, dude? Now put us all back on the screen. Put everybody back on the screen. Get everybody back on the screen. I don't need to be one shot. Put everybody back on. When you're looking at that and you go and you don't play, and what's funny, those kids, and those Jack State people tell you, those kids from Colorado, they went up there and they got big money there. And every one of them kids, quiet as kept, they said, man, I really wish I could come back to Jackson State, but I had to leave because of the money. But they missed Jackson State with all the stuff that Jackson State did not have, and they still missed it. So we can sit back and say that money can't buy you happiness. And that's what always tickles me when I hear this argument about these listen, man, and I'll tell you, I know, and Rocky, you know too. And I'm gonna say that I got a bunch of them guys from Texas A&M, bunch of guys from Florida, bunch of guys from Florida State, Ole Miss State. They don't do nothing with them schools. They don't have no connection. They played football there, and that is it. That is all they have. But you look at Quinn Gray, you look at Vaughn Wilson, you look at Bruce Eugene, you look at Trey Oliver. There's a connection that we have. So my thing is, if you get in the portal, I don't have a problem. If you think, but Rocky, the numbers say, because it ain't me, 5,000 kids made the wrong decision because they actually had a scholarship.
But what I'm saying is these coaches are putting kids in the portal, and I don't think coaches can have it both ways. You know what I mean? Coaches
but that ain't. But see, my thing is, and I guess me and Blue, we might have to do another research. How many? Because see, you're making an argument that we don't know. Is it the majority of kids getting put in the portal, or the majority of kids leaving because they think they can get a better situation? Well, I think these kids are believing that they can get a better situation.
I think you're wrong on that, Campbell, because the portal is the new transfer. If the kid ain't playing with me, coaches put him in the, and if I I'm at this school and I ain't playing, I'm transferring. There's more reasons to go in the portal besides just to see if it's greener pastures. Some kids get put in there, some kids ain't being successful at this school and say, man, I'm up out of here. You know, I'm putting my name up in the portal. So all of them ain't jumping in the portal to get paid.
Just like,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All of them ain't. That's the new way of transferring as well.
Yeah, Coach Cole is froze.
You gotta get in the portal.
It ain't me. It ain't me. Coach Cole is froze.
Oh, you can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. But that's the new way to transfer if you don't like it where you are or the coach don't want you on a scholarship. You know, it's more than just, oh, I'm getting in the portal, so I can see if I can make some more money. You know, it ain't all about money all the time. So I don't know when they done their research, was it just players getting in the portal to get money?
No. He just talking about people leaving, period. But coach, to your point, and this is what has happened: 5,000 kids are in the portal every year with no scholarship offers.
Right.
So they had a scholarship. Now, to your point, even if you took half of them, listen, I'm gonna play what you're saying. 2,500 of them, they didn't like the school or the coach told them to go. It's still another 2,500 that just left.
Thinking that they would they gonna get something better.
Right. I'm just using your number. It's 5,000. So I'm gonna give you 50% of those people are either got kicked off the team because the coach didn't want them or they didn't like their situation. What about the other 2,500?
That's the fleas that come with the dog.
Oh well, like I said, how about you stay with that dog in that kennel? I'm gonna stay my ass at FAMU.
Let's do this. Let's use one example because it's many. What about Body at Alabama State? He ain't got in the portal yet, but do you think he could get in there and get more money? You think he's worth
100%? But you know what? Okay, and we don't know until the second, because when it technically opens. But this proves my point. I think Andrew loves being at Alabama State.
Okay, I got you.
I think that is work. I think hold on, but see, we can't just. I think because he's a great example. He's a SWAC player of the year. People saying, hey, he could go this. We
had this talk before. How much he work? How much you think he work? You coaching? How much? And you got the money? How much
you can throw out any number?
And you need a quarterback.
You throw it out there. Don't ask me. What you think?
300,000.
Okay, and if he doesn't transfer, then why
didn't he transfer? Depends on what school I'm at. Okay, now, so if he doesn't transfer, $300,000. I'm throwing $300,000 at you.
Okay, that's fine. So as of right now, he has not declared. If he doesn't, wait a minute.
Let's just say his talents.
Okay, that's fine. $300,000.
We don't want to make people think he's I'm sorry to even use his name, but his talents.
No, that's fine. Coach, we get it. Everybody knows Andrew. Listen, no, but you need to ask the more important question. You said we're good with that. 300, 100,000. If he doesn't leave Alabama State, what would be the reason?
If he just don't?
If he doesn't leave.
Oh, because he like it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That has something. So the point is he values loving where he's at compared to $300,000. That means it's worth more than $300,000 to him. That's my point.
But what is your point?
What I'm saying,
you don't think he's gonna go for? You don't think any kid would go for $300,000?
You said you laid the number down. I didn't. You laid so either you give a reasonable number. What do you think a reasonable? What's the number?
Man, for some kids, shit, it's $10,000.
Okay, well, Coach, all I'm saying is we are not stupid. If there are people offering him money, I'm sure they're talking to him. We will find. And let me
my question to you.
Hold up, Coach. Let me just say this. This is what I think Andrew will be offered by a school or street agent, whatever you're saying. Andrew say, hey, like a school like Georgia Tech. Andrew can say, they can come to Andrew and say, hey, Andrew, we got a position for you at Georgia Tech. It's a good offer. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to start. We're taking another transfer quarterback that we paying 1.1. but I can pay you $600,000 and you can settle in as a backup. And if anything happens, you're the man. What do you think Andrew does?
Ain't what I asked you. Answer the question. If he does not leave, what does that mean? We already know what that answer is. Answer my question.
No, it means that that it could mean two things. He's not offering anything.
No.
Hey, and he on drugs.
See, I can play, man, like they say, like Teresa, next topic. Because you guys keep dipping and dodging, but I ain't gonna let you dip and dodge with me.
No.
Let me ask you this question, Bishop. Let me ask you a question. First of all, I think you're right. I think kids are jumping into that portal, and if they ain't jumping into that portal, some of them jumping in the portal for many reasons. Let me ask you, why do you think these kids play football and put all this time into playing football? Is to go where?
Oh, they want
to do what? Make money. Right. So if I got a kid that got an opportunity to make $500, $200, $100,000, why not go get the 100, the 200, the 300? I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna graduate from school.
Again, nobody's arguing your point. My point of it is,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and now I got this window.
So wait, it's two things. And somebody said it. So it's two things. All I'm saying is the portal, if Andrew stays, is either one or two things, because like Ronton said, he didn't get that, or maybe he wants to be there.
Okay. So because I don't want to, that kid, we maybe we
Rocky Trinidad Challenge was D2. He went to
and I should have said talent. I should have said talent with that type of talent.
No, what I'm saying is I would like to know what Trinidad Chambers got paid to go to Ole Miss to obviously be the backup.
Oh, I can find that out. Go ahead. We can move on. No.
And that's all. That's pretty much all I was saying is that when coaches and this is one of my stickler points. When coaches complain about guys leaving, there's two sides of it. Like I believe this is never said, but most of the guys in the portal were put in the portal by their coaches. That's what I believe. I believe most of the guys in the portal get that talk, coach, that you used to give people. Coach, it's not working out here. It's not working out here for you, coach. It's not. Hey, you're gonna call me in the office and you're gonna say, Rocky, this season, you couldn't find a role with us. You was battling, to get in the rotation. You couldn't break in through the rotation. I'm bringing some other guys in. We're looking for some other guys, and I think you should consider, entering the portal and looking for a program that fits you a little better. I'll give you a letter of recommendation. You've done everything in our program that I've asked you to do, and so if a coach calls and asks me about you, man, I give you a lights out referral or recommendation. But
I'm lights out now, man. I'm black.
I know, but you might have to disconnect and reconnect, coach. But what I'm saying is, when you give a kid that speaks, coach, he don't have no choice, do it?
No, It used to be you couldn't get rid of a player. You had to have a reason to, and then the player he could appeal it. Now, shit, man, it's out the door. You out the door. You got to find, and then that kid. He's going to enter his name, especially if he's at a Division I-A school. He'll enter his name to the portal because the coach can't talk to him until he get into the portal. And it's a lot of kids, Campbell, like you said, that's in that portal. I don't know the percentage. I don't know. The coach said they did a research, of kids getting up and leaving and not being successful where they're going. And I'm just saying, I think both of you guys are right.
The guy literally said that. Basically, 86% of the kids are less successful leaving than staying. That's what he said. They're getting 86%.
So he's talking specifically about a kid saying, I want to go, not the coach pushing him out.
No, well, we don't know that.
That's why I said that what he's talking about is a little tricky, you know what I mean? But we do know there's 5,000 kids in that portal.
Right, and
whatever reason they in there for.
The number, even if you do a 50% argument, it's still 2,500 kids that didn't qualify for what you're saying.
There's a kid named Cole Wisniewski from North Dakota State. Y'all can look him up, Cole Wisniewski. I interviewed him for Syntex Sports Network at the Big 12 Big 12 Media Day. This kid was at North Dakota State. This kid won a national championship. I asked him straight up. You go look at the interview. I asked him, why'd you leave? He say, I just couldn't turn the money down. He said, I loved it at North Dakota State.
For the 50th time, we get that. That ain't an argument. You don't have to keep, bro, you like a broken record. So I'm telling you, nobody's arguing that. People leave for money. What the question was, I asked and simply asked, if somebody doesn't leave for the money, why do they stay? That's all I asked.
We have to ask a guy like Bryce Lance, the guy who was the best player on North Dakota State's team, who decided to stay at North Dakota State. He's going to be a draft pick, the wide receiver. Bryce Lance, Trey Lance's little brother. Right. Why did he stay at North Dakota State? Right? And he's a significantly better player than Cole Wisniewski.
Well, there you go. That's what all I'm saying. Listen, guys, we can put a button on this because we on to talk in circles.
We beating that dead horse.
There is some value, and it's been proven to be true. Sometimes where you're at is the best place for you to be, money or not. That's all I agree. That's it. No more, no less.
Yeah, maybe Coach Cole gonna come back where we can pick this game, this championship game, because I'm looking forward to it. But Campbell, I just brought
the game. We can wait to pick the game Friday because we all gonna be together on Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we ain't got it. But
we should pick the game.
Yeah, we're gonna wait to do the game Friday. Hey, but here's the other thing, Campbell. I'm just surprised that you're at a top HBCU school like Jackson State. You're playing at a very high level. You're an all SWAC player, and you decide to leave Jackson State. That honestly surprised me. You're at one of the few schools that have a collective.
Yeah, but I'm gonna again. I think again when I told you this, the guys that are the all SWAC top tier guys. They all want to play at a higher level. We've seen this since this portal has been open. Guys leaving. I have no problem with that. And like a lot of guys say, he's from Memphis. He signs in Memphis. He'll be back at home. To your point, and Coach Cole, they're going to give him $10,000, $15,000 a month. And he's at home. And then hopefully, what I hope is that he actually plays. That's all I want. I would hate for that kid to go to Memphis and not play because there's something. Again, I know playing in that game against Prairie View, that's a big game. No matter what level you're on, that's a big game. And I know for people that have the love for the game, you want to be in the game. You don't want to be on the sideline.
Yeah, and I think I think kids should enter. And you said this is not possible when me and you were talking. I said kids should know their value when they go in the portal. They should be able to get an evaluation on some level before they go in the portal. You said you can't have it. Players can't have it both ways, Rock.
No. What? No. That's why a lot of these guys have agents. They do know their value. That's what's happening now. These agents are going out talking to schools, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. I won't be shocked if Amon Miller signed the very first day because he probably has an agent that has already talked to a school and said, "I got this kid, and they'll say, you know what, sooner or later we want him." So my thing is, I'm talking about the kids that don't have the good guidance and counsel that get in the portal and don't know that. That's the problem I have with those kids. You got kids jumping in this portal that think they're good. And again, the numbers show it. 5,000 kids, somebody told them, other than Coach Cole getting kicked off, whatever, at least half of them, they thought they were better than what they were. And they found out real quick they were not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely is a couple kids that get in that portal and think they're going. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get that. They chase them the kids is really chasing money. But I'm saying if you come off of a great year and somebody ready to offer you 2, 3, 4, 500,000, man, take that money, man, because what to me, is because it'll help you start your life. The NFL is not guaranteed. You can get drafted and get cut. You can get free agency and get in there. You ain't getting $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. You're not getting it if you don't get drafted. And
Well,
who said you gonna make it?
I don't know if anybody.
It's a gamble. So
Yeah,
if I'm just saying, if I get the money now,
have we ever had? And this is what I'm saying. Other than I think Ash that left for all, and maybe Blue would know how many of our kids that left HBC has even gotten that money like that. Other than I think our defensive tackle, he went to Auburn because Auburn had that rev share.
I think my man from Trey Oliver was saying he had an offensive lineman. They gave him
Jamari Taylor, I know, left and getting paid at Virginia. I don't know what he getting paid.
Yeah,
but he left HBCU, and I know. And we
had some in Florida A&M. I remember that defensive tackle or something.
Yeah, he went to Auburn,
and they didn't play much.
No, he didn't play at all.
Yeah.
He didn't play a down really.
He got that money.
Yeah, he got like 100. I think, and Blue would know. I think they paid someone between 150 to 180. I think that's what he got.
And hopefully he done right with that money. I seen that one article you put on the thing where the one player went and bought a washateer.
Yeah, and it was a white kid. So and here's the thing. So let's okay. I'm gonna say this. We know that NFL NBA players don't do right by their money, and they make hundreds of millions. So now you want a college kid that's even dumber to think it's not even realistic what y'all talking about. So no, none of them kids are gonna have that money. These kids are buying chains.
But all you saying, do I start my career? You know, okay, I'm gonna miss 1 year of football because I made a chance and I chased the money. You know what I mean? I chased the money. Okay, the kid that said, "Oh no, I don't want the money. I'm staying. I have a great finish up having a great career, and then what? He don't have no money. He's starting off from zero.
No. I see. Okay, so again, I'm about to be this bright-eyed. He's not starting from zero because first of all, he's getting an education from a great institution.
He's
not starting at zero.
The one that's taking the money and getting the education. I hope.
Well, is he? SEC education? Oh yeah, that great SEC education. Yeah, we seen what that's done. Come on, you don't want, like I say, that great Mississippi State, Alabama education.
Man, this is one of the greatest teams I coached.
Kentucky education, LSU education. And stop.
Hey, your favorite player was on that team, wasn't it, Coach?
Right there.
You're right, and like Glenn said, they take that money, and these kids, like I said, these kids, they all even want to hear this. The kid Juju, from Atlanta, that kid got a $300,000 chain, a $200,000 car. Yeah, he's really saving his money, Coach. Yep, he sure is.
He said, "Well, who's this say what? If I don't do what?
If you don't change your stance, I'm gonna start praying for every school kids."
About getting money.
No, I think that's what. So, Campbell, that's what I think is part of the problem. The coaches is going for the money. So how can the coaches talk against the players going for the money?
No. Listen. No, I love that kids can get paid. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't want to hear this thing like these kids are saving their money for the future and they're going to be building. They ain't happening because the NFL guys don't do it in NBA, and those guys.
I'm going to tell you, Cole Wisniewski said specifically, it gives him and his wife, who he just got married to, a great start.
You know what? I hate to be a stereotype. He's white, and them boys. And let me tell you something. You can say, listen, man. You can say whatever it is, but this is the thing. White people, and again. And unless you're educated. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to keep it a buck. People in this chat are very educated. They do totally different than they boys back in the streets. People wonder about, I have people in the street, they're like, Steve, how have you always had money? Because I was raised around people that knew how to handle money. My granddad had businesses. We owned property. I had to do taxes. I know what money means. But when you get people from the street that don't, and like I say, like Juju is buying I would never buy a $300,000 chain, Rocky. I would never buy it. You got a $300,000 chain and a $200,000 car. I got a nice car. Well, I tell you what, I got that a hell of a deal, and that white man was mad when I got that deal off his ass because I know how to buy cars.
Why do these top 5 guys now go to these major institutions because it's better. They get paid and it's better.
Because we know that.
So if I'm at a black school and somebody want me for $150,000, and my grades is there because they got to be there because I've reached being a senior or junior and 2 years later, why not take the $150,000, go to a better program? I ain't gonna say a better school, a better program.
Thank you, Blue. It's like I said, listen, I sent you the whiteboard about a doggone laundromat here in Georgia. He got the same NIL money. Rocky, remember that video I sent you guys?
Yeah.
He got the same players on his team. And I think the kid is at Georgia Tech. So okay. And I hate to do it. Okay, Georgia Tech.
We can't do that because they go to the pros and get $30 million and buy $300,000.
All them kids. Now wait a minute. He's still in school. All them kids, them brothers got that money. They buying business. This white boy went and bought a laundromat in the hood of Atlanta. And got the little black girl sitting all this, and then what pissed me off, and they said that's their little mascot. I was like, oh, hold on, whoa. But that's the difference, right? He got a laundromat.
I want to make sure people understand that I'm saying this. I got a son. He's good. All right. He's at this college. People want to throw $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 at him. I'm looking. Okay. If I go with my heart and stay with this school and he gets hurt, there goes $5,000 away. Or he stays at this school, he has a great chance, he graduates, and then don't get an opportunity to play football and make money. That's what he played football for all his life for.
Well, but if he spent the $500,000, $300,000 chain and a Maybach, then wait a minute, you acting like they don't. Wait a minute, Coach. Do I need to show you the University of Georgia?
No, Coach, I've seen it.
These kids are going making investments. The NBA players don't do it. 70% of the NBA players go broke.
So what are you saying? He goes to white school, he gets the money, he spends the money, but he gets his degree, right? I stay at HBCU, I get the degree, don't get a chance to go to NFL. Well, I mean, what?
Well, Coach, listen, I'm not arguing your point. I'm not, listen, you take the money, but don't be sitting up here. All I'm saying, don't y'all come with this BS like they about to buy stocks and bonds. They ain't. What's disappointing.
And I get your point. I get your point.
And what's disappointing is that they give the most amount of money to the people that are least capable of handling it. And that's all I'm saying is that I hear all that. Yes, you take the money, I get all that. Only thing that I said was I'm not arguing any of that point. And I'm going to make my last point. If Andrew stays, because somebody probably offered him money, what does that say? I think that says is that overall his life value is worth him staying. He's happy. Sometimes you can't buy happiness. I've had jobs making a lot of money and I quit because I wasn't happy.
And you can't play football all the time. And you ain't going to be as good as you are all the time. So why not, when you're at the top of your pinnacle, get paid for it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I honestly understand what Campbell is saying. And I think there's some value, there's some intrinsic value that a HBCU education, HBCU experience offers that is invaluable, that's priceless. My wife and I obviously feel that way because we've invested in an education for our daughter.
Yeah,
she could go anywhere.
Marvin Allen says it's good. You know, Coach Cole, how many is going to make the NFL? Get what you can while you can.
And what you're saying, Mr. Campbell, that's a short-sighted thought process.
See, listen. This is what I'm saying. This is somebody HBCU educated more like. See, you're thinking, but what I'm trying to tell you, we have seen during the course of time, these kids are getting, and they're not doing that. So let's stop acting like they are. These kids are literally buying $100,000 cars. Now, jewelry that is worthless.
I understand what you're saying, Coach. I understand.
Listen, hey man, listen.
Maybe they need to do in the portal when these kids get portals. Take that money and put it away till they graduate.
Well, I gotta say, again, I tell you what. And last thing, did you and Rocky? You know what we're gonna do? Maybe next show,
Yeah.
We're gonna have to pull up Jameis Winston, and he talking about. You seen that interview with Jameis Winston? And he was talking about the $40,000-$50,000 a month he was paying out to his friends and his family and all that stuff.
Yeah, I seen that.
And he thought he had all this money. See, that's what I'm saying. And this is Jameis Winston.
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
A month.
But look here, guys. Shit, we done 3 hours.
Yeah,
so last thing. Embassy Suites, Friday night, 8 to 10. Coach Cole, Rocky, me, Bruce Eugene, Coach Fred, and a whole bunch of other people.
Heisman Northern.
So, guys, we would love to see you there in Atlanta. That's where we're going to be at. Show up. Hey, I will probably check my Twitter. I'm working on getting a discount on the parking. So check my Twitter. It's IWCEO. Check it out. We'll put it all out on our Facebook and all that other stuff. Coach, it's your thing. Go ahead.
Hey, thank you guys for following us up, man. I appreciate it. Look here, I know I got a little gray. I'm coming out of retirement. At least y'all don't put me in retirement. I ain't never been retired. I just been doing some other things, and I'm coming out of retirement. I'm looking to try to get back on the sideline this year. So I'm out. I'm looking and I'm hunting to see who wants to be a millionaire, as they would say. Hire Johnny Cole. But hey, look, it's been a great show. Man, we could not be this strong without you. Come join us in Atlanta. Come have some drinks. Come have some fun. Come hear coaches from all over the country talk about their team and who's going to win this game, man. It's been a great time. As I always say, man, things are tight. America now is not affordable. So we gotta stand together, man. And if you feel yourself at the end of the road, you always know, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.